Again. All right. Welcome in this week, sports fans, to another episode of the Super Sports Bros podcast. I am your co-host, Nick, with a better video camera this week, and I'm joined as always by my co-host and brother, Al. It is the Thursday night kickoff of week 2 of the NFL season. Man, we got a lot to get to between college football last week. Definitely one big upset. Some trends that are starting to pop up with other teams. And then, man, NFL week 1 gave us plenty of storylines to talk about. How's it going, man?
Good, dude. Sorry to hear that you're not back on the beach. I don't see the wonderful waves in your background.
Well, I have the 1080p camera, so I can't do the waves of the beach without crashing my 2014 computer. So you have the blurry basement back here today.
That's all good.
I used to have like a cool American flag. I don't know where it is, but if I find it, I'll just hang it behind me and turn the blur off.
Green screen. Yeah, man. Happy to be back. Happy for another football weekend upcoming. We're kicking off here with the first quarter of the Thursday night football game. Good football, bad football, absurd football, and ugly injuries. I think recap week 1, but. We're underway, and I'm pretty stoked about it. There's a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and tease for later in the episode was when we'll do NFL. We'll start with college, but yeah, there were a lot of like big catchy headlines in each of the windows this week, and then this is probably going to be one of the better Thursday night games kicking off here. Washington and Green Bay. Green Bay's up 7-0, and I am cautiously optimistic that Washington isn't going to fade this season, although their schedule is much harder. Again, they played the Giants in week 1, so not the greatest litmus test, but in the first few drives, they looked up to snuff with Green Bay, who absolutely walked all over Detroit. So I think we could be looking at 2 playoff teams for sure here, maybe a division winner in Green Bay. So I am anxious to see how Jaden Daniels and his offensive line hold up against the pass rush of Green Bay. Sorry about the chair.
Not so good in the first quarter, I will say. Micah's been in the backfield a couple of times. They got him down, I think, twice already. So
yeah, he looks much more explosive
passes,
today. Yeah. Parsons looks more explosive than he did in week 1.
Yeah, he played more in week 1 than I anticipated. He got about 50% of the snaps. It doesn't sound like he was going to get. Well, it sounded like he was a game time decision, and then
it was funny reading. I know we're already off topic because that's just how we roll, but it was funny to read like, oh, he doesn't know the playbook. I'm like, the playbook is go to the quarterback.
Rush.
That's his job. That is his job. Get the guy
drop back in coverage
to throw the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure they will come up with some schemes to get him open, but I had to laugh at that. I was just like, he just needs to put his hand in the dirt and go. Like,
yeah,
don't overcomplicate it when you have a superstar. All right, man, let's jump in. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what do you think of the all-white Packer jerseys? I'll be honest, I hate to admit it now because there were some pretty bad ones. I'm looking right at you, Seattle, but the Thursday color rush was pretty cool, and now that it's gone, some teams do like these super alternates. The helmets aren't bad.
I will say the fact that they went all white is fine. If they had like yellow pants or green
that would be
pants,
awful. Yeah.
Yeah. I like them better than the Acme Packer ones they had. Those were terrible. I also like these better than I think almost all of the quote unquote rivalry jerseys.
Oh yeah.
That came out.
When do those kick in?
The only one that looks half decent is I believe they're the Thursday night when I'm pretty sure Miami and the Jets are playing. The Jets is awful. It looks like somebody ran the jersey over, just threw it out on the Jersey Turnpike and ran it over. The Cardinals isn't bad. It kind of looks dirty, but it's supposed to be the desert. The color scheme
got
decent.
That speckle.
The Bills is atrocious. The Dolphins isn't bad. It's kind of like a midnight blue.
New England's is like that faded navy, I think.
Yeah, there's one other decent one. It's slipping my mind right now, but it's just sometimes they just stick with the classics. I mean,
it's just jerseys for jersey's sake at this point.
Seattle just needs to go back to the 80s, 90s logo. Those look so clean last year.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
those
look
are
good.
good. The
Denver, same
silver
thing
bullet
with the
helmet. Yeah,
Denver with the old school D, and the block letters look good. I mean, the Jets went back to their um, 70s, 80s
I'd say
logo, so it
the
looks good.
Jets' regular uniforms look a lot better now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's the quote unquote retro, but yeah, I mean, lots of it's. I mean, they don't switch nearly as much as college, but there are some teams out there that I feel like are Washington is one of them where they could do so much with this logo. Like I get it, it's kind of like the
Yeah,
army print, but they definitely could do something with it.
I like their
Because
black ones a lot. Their black
yeah, well, I don't like
tops.
the helmet, but the uniform I do, where
Yeah.
they put the W in the front.
Yes.
But I like their color scheme. I like the maroon and yellow. It's a decent color combo. But yeah, well, speaking of outrageous jerseys, let's go to college because there's some definite uniforms there, but some outrageous scores across the top 25 last week. We'll probably brush aside some of the big walkover wins. There's definitely a game we need to talk about that we kind of put on the radar, and I was glad that I was right.
Yeah. You're all over
I
that.
wish I wish I bet it with more confidence. I only bet to cover. I should have just taken one flyer to go straight up, but most of the big dogs had no problem. Ohio State a 70-0 winner over Grambling. They are currently number one. Penn State number two. 34-0 over FIU. It was 10-0 at halftime. I don't
They're
know if
over.
it's over.
The FIU covered. I told you.
Oh, for sure, but I
I
don't know if
had
it's
that one.
overlooking the opponent. I mean, 34-0 is still not a close
FIU's
game, but
defense is not bad.
Penn State's offense didn't look as sharp as I thought that it would in week two. LSU also kind of struggled with Louisiana Tech coming off of a grind out win against Clemson. I expected them to just kind of be all systems go. And there were a couple of really nice drives from LSU, but I don't know that 23-7 is what you're looking for in your home opener against La Tech, who is not quite as good as they used to be. A nice ball, Jaden.
Oh,
Noah
big drop.
Brown. That was a bad drop. That would have put him, what, first and goal, at least in the red zone.
Yep.
Georgia, again, another team kind of slogging its way through its home opener, 28-6 over Austin P. Miami beat Bethune-Cookman by 40. Oregon just crushed Oklahoma State, 69-3.
That was wild.
Oregon is very quietly just putting up huge numbers. I think people are a little off Oregon after how they just got crushed in their playoff game last year, but they could be a sneaky, like, again, they're number 6 in the country, but no one's really talking about them right now.
Yeah, what are they, third in the Big Ten? So
correct. But again, there's not a lot of buzz
right.
in Oregon right now. And I think they've burned a couple of people, a couple of the pundits in the past couple of years with like putting up gaudy numbers in the quote unquote regular season, and then the postseason comes and they flop. Texas took a little while to get going, but they beat San Jose State 38-7. Clemson was very much struggling with Troy in the first half. And then they ended up walking away with it with a 17-point third quarter. They won 27-6, but they were down by 2 scores at halftime, which was very interesting to see.
Yep.
South Carolina with a pretty big win over South Carolina State. They're currently 10th. Illinois struggled with Duke in the first half and then blew the doors off in the second to get a 45-19 win. Then we get to a couple of upsets. Arizona State went on the road to the SEC. They got down big early, clawed their way all the way back, but came up short, lost 24-20 on the road at Mississippi State. Now, not going to eliminate them from playoff contention because I think their path was to win the Big 12 anyways, but this almost assuredly knocks them out of the at-large conversation.
I agree. All or nothing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those teams that, especially the Big 12 is mostly an all or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody runs the table and there's, the SEC cannibalizes itself like it did last year, where they're down to like there's legitimately only 3 teams that should get in, then the conversation becomes interesting. But outside of Iowa State, Kansas State already has 2 losses. Arizona State has a loss. So you're kind of looking to see who could be that team that can run the gauntlet unclean. I'm not sure anyone gets through unbeaten in the Big 12 this year. Maybe Utah, outside chance. Big upset of the day was South Florida going to the Swamp and upsetting Florida 18-16. I was totally wrong about the over in this game. Both defenses came to play. But I was not wrong in the fact that South Florida was going to give Florida all they could handle. They got a big assist on the last drive with a spit 15-yard penalty.
Oh God, yeah. That's what last week was summarized by, the spit week.
Yeah, it's wild spitting.
Is that what we're doing now? Yeah.
I guess there's nothing better to do. Four spitting penalties in the span of 4 days.
Unbelievable.
But I mean, South Florida, well, not so quietly anymore, but 2 top 25 wins in 2 weeks, and then they're going to play number 5 Miami this week. Like, that's a gauntlet of a start to the season. I mean, whether Boise ends up being any good or not, they were ranked at the beginning of the season. I mean, Florida has all the talent in the world, but I threw a couple bucks on South Florida to be the group of 5 team to make the playoff. If they can beat Miami or hang close, their schedule lightens up a little bit after this, and if they can run the table in the American Athletic Conference, then they have a chance to be that dark horse candidate. They look pretty good, man. Their quarterback's healthy. If he gets hurt, they're toast. But they held up to Florida, and they continued to punch back even when they didn't have their best offensive punch. I thought they were going to have to outscore Florida to win, but it turned out to be a defensive slugfest.
Yeah, I agree. And that, speaking of the at-large bids, my curse instantly went into effect with my potential at-large teams. But it's just, I don't know. It's like they know. It's like I've broadcast.
They heard,
oh, wait a minute.
They heard you.
Yeah.
So talk about is Florida still has a path. Like, this is an ugly loss, no doubt. But South Florida appears to be a legitimate contender for a playoff spot, and they're ranked now.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida has an insane schedule, but boy, every year since Billy Napier has been hired, they have one of those head-scratching losses. This might not be as head-scratching because of talent that South Florida has, but it's just like, you can't lose your home opener in a season where you already have the toughest schedule, and this was, quote-unquote, not a tough game on their schedule. Sure. Doesn't bode well for what they have coming up. In, out,
No,
in, out. Yeah, it just seemed out of sorts, and it was like Lagway couldn't get on the same page. They couldn't. I mean, they ended up rushing for a couple hundred yards, but it was 4 yards at a time. There wasn't the big, you're used to watching. You turn on and you see the Florida highlight, and there's a guy gashing for a 75-yard touchdown run. That just wasn't
there was no explosives
in the cards
at all. Yeah, no, I agree.
And then on the other side of the coin, you got Florida State. All
too many explosives. Yeah, that touchdown in the fourth quarter. That's a Florida State record for 11 touchdowns, and of course, I had the under 79.5.
All right, no, I gotta pick. I have to pick on you. Do you even know where East Texas A&M is? Their logo looks like a high school logo.
Yeah, it does. It actually looks like one of the British football teams' logos, the England Lions.
Yeah, or like a Madden Create a logo.
Yeah,
like generic U.
This is I was chasing at around 3 o'clock. I was chasing, and I was like, all right. What was the other game that was ridiculously high scored in the beginning of the game? Dang it, I can't remember.
Early window? Baylor
somebody. No. Like one-sided. I can't remember now, but it was. So I took. I think it was the Oregon game and this game. At halftime, the the overs were like 80 and 85 points, and I was like, all right, I'll just take the unders. Like maybe they'll be nonchalant about it.
They'll take their foot off the
And
gas.
yeah, and they did. And of course, they let East Texas score, and I was like, all right, no, field goal. And with what was it like? I think I went to the bathroom at the 2-minute warning, or at like the 5, and I come out and they score the next play. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And then I hear on the radio the next morning, Florida State sets such a program record for 11 touchdowns. You gotta be kidding me.
I saw your bet go in your eye. Yeah, not today.
I'm telling you, there's a beacon somewhere.
Not today. Oh man. The only ranked unranked matchup of the day was number 15 Michigan going to Oklahoma. Oklahoma looked really good in this game. 24-13 win. It didn't even really feel that close.
It was just strange because Michigan had that one big hitter.
Yep.
And that was their only touchdown. And you're like, well, it just it was the first play of the second half, and it kind of came out of nowhere and went just like a whisper. So yeah, it didn't feel like it was a 1-score game going into the fourth. And then I got to be honest with you, I was impressed with Mateer a lot.
Yep.
I would think I'm equally impressed with Mateer as frustrated as I was with the Michigan coaching staff.
Yeah,
it's a lot because I was pissed.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you don't want to lose your identity as a running football team, but they have a quarterback in Bryce Underwood who has a skill set that Michigan quarterbacks don't often have. He's more athletic than JJ McCarthy. Obviously, JJ was a more polished product when they won the national championship, but even then, like when they won the national championship, JJ McCarthy was a facilitator. He was not
the third option behind handing up to Corum and handing off to Haskins or whoever else was in the backfield.
Donovan Edwards.
That's right.
Yeah, but I get that they want to protect their freshman quarterback in his first true road game against a traditional powerhouse, a blue blood, an Oklahoma team that seems to have gotten the transfer portal right this year after not getting it right for a couple of years. But in the fourth quarter, when you're down 2 scores, it's kind of like, what do you have to lose at this point? If you lose 24-13 or 34-13, see what the kid can do and just turn him loose. And they just kept running crossers and handing out. And Hayes had a good game. I mean, most of his yards came on one play, but he was also getting hammered because they stacked the box and he's getting hit twice before he got to the line of scrimmage. Yep. He's really fighting for all his yards. But I really wanted to see once Oklahoma came down the field after the quick strike and scored, it felt like the game kind of was over. And I wanted to see him go for broke. Oh, yes, first leg hit, Jacobs touchdown. Okay. It will be interesting to see for these 2 weeks with Sherrone Moore out. Does Michigan open up the playbook a little bit?
Yeah, because the exact opposite happened when he took over for Harbaugh for 2 games. Wasn't that the game where they stopped throwing the ball in the second quarter?
Yeah, they threw an interception in the second quarter, and they ran, I think,
like 32 straight
runs. Yeah, crazy. And still won.
Yeah.
I would like to see what they could do. Even, again, Michigan's fighting to be a top 4 Big Ten team this year with an outside chance at the playoffs, and I think that's the peak of their season. I would rather see it now and have it go up in flames than wait and not know if it'll ever come, if that makes sense.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. This game puts Mateer at the top of the Heisman list, am I right?
He is current high. Oh, sorry, he's tied with Garrett Nussmeier right now.
Okay.
So it's Nussmeier, Mateer, Dante Moore, the Oregon quarterback who used to be the UCLA quarterback, Carson Beck, Lenora Sellers, Arch Manning, Devin Dampier, Gunnar Stockton, Drew Aller, Cade Klubnik for some reason still up there. I mean, he's up there. He's 1,800 to 1, but he's ahead of Jeremiah Smith. He's Jeremiah Smith's first non-quarterback on the list.
And he hasn't done anything yet. Well, I don't know what they did against Grambling.
I mean, he had a big game, but it was against Grambling.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so let's round out top 25 here. Cyhawk Trophy. Iowa State and Iowa have been playing the same 16-13 game for the past 100 years. Um, Iowa State. This is the first time Iowa State's won at home since pre-COVID. I didn't know that. They've had a couple
Oh,
neutral site
wow.
games, but this is one of those where the road team seems to always win. Um, uh, I was fascinated by the Baylor SMU game back and
Yeah,
forth.
yeah, that was a good game.
SMU took a hit, ACC took a hit, losing 48-45 at home. I did not know this. SMU has not beaten Baylor since before the death penalty.
Oh, wow.
And so, like, it's just one of those things because they stopped playing for a long
I
time
was gonna
because they used
say,
to
I
be
would
in
have thought they play, yearly or semi-annually or something like that.
the well, they used to be in the Big Eight conference, or sorry, the Southwest Conference, which became Big Eight, which became Big 12. But SMU was never part of that
Mhm.
conference. They joined the American Conference,
Yep.
and so they just never played. But I mean, they played a couple times, but Baylor has beaten them every time, and it looked like SMU had this one wrapped up, and then Baylor came down and scored, and then the SMU kicker went college kicker on us and shanked one, and that was all she wrote. We had Texas A&M and then they're a little further back than Oregon, but the team no one's talking about has looked really good for 2 weeks in a row. So we'll see when they get to their SEC schedule if they're for real. Old Miss with a comeback victory over
Survived. Yeah.
Kentucky. Yeah,
I
this
thought
was a
Kentucky had this
prime.
game. I
This
watched
was a
most of this game. I
prime
was surprised.
Lane Kiffining game here, or Old Missing, but they didn't lose. The quarterback Simmons didn't look great through the air. He threw two really bad picks.
Yeah.
He throws a pretty ball because he's a lefty, but not great. Oh, I missed the injury. Oh man,
Dude is not happy.
leg.
Oh, it was on the kick. It was on the extra point. I don't know. Am I afraid to watch this?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
uh,
gross. You
dang.
cool?
I'm guessing leg. The way they've got everyone out there, he's
Was it
probably
air
air
cast?
casting.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it looks like it.
Tibia. Ugh, gross.
Was it Dietrich Wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, extra point fell down. Offensive lineman. Von Miller's on the Commanders.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Surprise.
yeah, that's a tough injury. It's accidental. The offensive lineman fell backwards, snapped his leg. It looks like tough. Alabama with I guess a get right game, 73-0 over UL Monroe. I definitely took the UL Monroe, hoping for a second bomb week. Did not happen.
No.
Did not happen. Tennessee putting up a bunch of points again. We'll see if they're for real in a couple weeks. Then we had Indiana beating Kennesaw State. Texas Tech. Texas Tech has scored 62 or more points in both straight weeks. And then, man, Utah's my dark horse, man. They look good. Again, they haven't played
Yeah.
anybody, but they're putting up points. So they have officially moved on from the Cam Rising era. Devin Dampier, their quarterback, looks great. Again, against not super strong competition, but can only play who's on your schedule, right?
Yeah. We had some rough results outside of the top 25 for our rooting interest, though. I will say we got a big loss out of Liberty. I have who I thought might be able to run the table and represent at large. We had a squeak by your at large Tulane with a 2-point win.
Yep, this counts as a win in the record book, though.
It does. Nobody will look at it. Let's see. Big Red loss, pretty rough.
Oh man, Big Red. That one hurt because
Yeah.
I bet it too.
Yeah. Oh, I was on them. Because they were getting points against Toledo. I was excited.
My big loss in our playoff pick era is Florida. That was tough, but Tulane survived, like you said. Illinois survived an early scare. South Florida,
UNLV, the team I was going to pick, ends up beating UCLA.
They hammered UCLA. UCLA looks awful. Oh my God, Nico, I need to transfer again out of NCAA football. He looks awful.
The Fighting Fafitas took care of Weber State, thankfully. Hawaii with another
Yeah,
win. Sam Houston
you had a
State's put
tough
up 3
week.
good games, but are
The,
0-3 against teams that we, for whatever reason, care about.
you had Arizona State went down. You had Michigan
Yeah.
go down. You had SMU go down, and you had Liberty go down. It's a tough week for you.
Yep. Yep. Not much
All
better in
those
the
teams,
NFL, is it?
yeah, outside of Liberty, I think your teams are still alive. They just narrowed the window for them to get in by varying degrees.
I agree.
All right, Sunday Night Football at 7:30 to go in the second quarter. 14-0 Green Bay. Josh Jacobs 3-yard plunge. We'll see if Jalen Daniels can respond. I'm really liking this new kickoff rule, man. So many kicks have been returned.
Yeah.
Like not terrific return results, but at least like we're getting a play.
It's strategic now. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, for sure. I mean, nothing. Again, jumping the shark here, but in the Monday Night Football game,
Oh, yeah. Big
uh,
one.
Minnesota ran it out so they could get the clock under 2 minutes, so that the Bears wouldn't get an extra time out of it.
Yep.
Ended up not killing him because they ran out of the clock anyways, but a very strategic move. They went to the slow mo replay and you could see the returner looking at the coach whether or not to bring it out of the end zone. And so they gave up 10 yards of field position to cost
Well
basically
worth
the
it.
Bears a timeout. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
there's Bill. There he goes.
Big Billy? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wild is you would have thought it was Eberflus again, because all they had to do was kick it out of bounds. Like if the most important thing is to preserve the 2-minute warning, just kick it out of bounds. Who cares what the field position is?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we're jumping the shark here.
That was a
Ooh.
dangerous throw, a dangerous catch, but McLaurin brings it in. That's his first catch of the game, I think.
Let's take a look at the upcoming week. So we have it should have been four ranked on ranked matchups, but Florida's out of the top 25 right now. So we have a handful of ranked on ranked games. If we take a look at the top 25, I don't see Indiana losing, Oregon, Northwestern. Clemson, Georgia Tech could be a sneaky good game. I was
Yeah,
not
I'm
impressed
interested
at
in that
all.
one.
Not impressed at all with Clemson's game
No,
performance against
could be 0
Troy.
0-2.
I mean, I know they won going away, but that first half was kind of unforgivable.
Yep.
And just Georgia Tech
Tech looks
always
good.
has a game. They always have a game where they have no business winning, and they just hang around and hang around and hang around. It's the old rope a dope strategy, and then boom, they hit you in the fourth quarter, and they play ball control, and you can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean that's a 3-point spread. That's surprising.
Yeah, I mean it's at Georgia Tech, but I would have expected the spread to be higher. I need that's a stay away game betting wise for me, but I need to see something from Clemson. They need to prove something here in this game.
I would have liked to have either gotten more points or bigger juice on Georgia Tech to win outright for me to bet this one, but
Sure, yeah, I don't like the over under at 51 because it's going to either be really high scoring or really low scoring. Until they kick off, I just don't know what it's going to be.
Speaking of the over, Oregon looking to put up another 70 burger on Northwestern, that one I might be betting because the over under is at 50, and I don't think.
Well, I think the tricky part there is all of the points might be coming from Oregon.
Yes, I agree.
So the question is, can they score 50?
Yeah.
So an intriguing matchup, not ranked on ranked, but 2-0 Wisconsin is going to Alabama. It's the second year of a home and home. Last year, Alabama went to Madison and beat Wisconsin.
I was gonna say, I thought I remember that game. Yep.
Yeah, it was not.
Yeah, but somebody got the quarterback got injured, right?
Yeah. If this game were in Wisconsin, I would like this 21.5 point spread that I'm looking at. I just don't know. The quarterback at Alabama, Tyson, I'm just not sold on him.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like
this whole narrative is a dual threat phenom. I don't get that side either.
Well, it's hard when you're replacing Jalen Milroe, right?
Sure.
But he just doesn't seem super confident in in anything he does, when he reads, when he chooses to run, it's just like he's hoping to not lose the game instead of going out there to win the game. So, I mean, we'll see. This is a good test for them. Obviously, I'm sure they thought they'd be 2-0 going into this game, but man, 21 and a half points. Look, I know they put up 73, but that was on, pardon me, UL Monroe.
Yes.
Like Wisconsin, for as much as we poke fun at their offenses, Wisconsin's a perennial top 25 team that plays like the Alabama's a 21 and a half point favorite. The over under is 46 and a half. So something's got to give there. It's either going to be a really close, low scoring game where Alabama's going to blow them out. I see it being more the former, the close, low scoring game, but maybe this is their coming out party.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, College Game Day does not have they have a plethora of games they could choose. Where are they going?
They are going to Tennessee. They were going to go to West Virginia.
LSU.
No, they were going to go to Morgantown for the backyard brawl between Pittsburgh and West Virginia, but then West Virginia got upset and they are no longer ranked.
Okay.
Michigan's hosting Central Michigan. Central Michigan in the first week of the season got a road win at San Jose State, and then they proceeded to get absolutely annihilated in week 2. I need to see a bounce back for Michigan. It needs to be a get right game. This is the first of the 2 games.
It needs to maybe even be a shutout. Like it needs to be a defensive effort.
Yeah, the defense needs to shore it up. Yep, and I need to see what's the offense going to look like without their coach. Auburn back in the top 25, 2 good wins so far this year, hosting South Alabama. So again, it could be one of those sneaky dark horse SEC teams that no one's talking about because they're like 6th or 7th. But then as the big dogs start picking each other off, they could, wind up in the SEC championship game. Moonball out of bounds. Not a great pass. No. I would go for it, man. You got nothing working right now.
Old leggies coming on. I see it.
4th and 5, 35 yards. I guess you got to get points. Missouri, also one of those sneaky 2-0. No one's talking about them. SEC teams. They're hosting Louisiana this week. Penn State, Villanova. That won't be close. Big game in the 3:30 window is number 15 Tennessee hosting number 6 Georgia. Georgia is a 4.5 points road favorite, over under 50.5. I like the over in this game.
Yeah, I'm curious to see Georgia's offense struggling with Austin Peay. Not the greatest showing in the home opener. Tennessee's put up some fireworks. Obviously, the best defense they'll have played to date and potentially this year. This is a big litmus test for a team that's really hot in Tennessee's start and a team that's been a little sluggish in Georgia's.
Yeah, you have the perennial national contender not looking good so far against the team that has, I think, 2nd most points in college football right now. I'm not sure Tennessee is interested in playing defense. They gave up 30 to Syracuse. So we'll see. I like the over because either Tennessee is going to be down big chasing points, or it's going to be a
shootout from the beginning. I agree.
Georgia's going to have to keep up with them. So I think I may buy it down to maybe 48, but I do like the over, and I may buy it up to a touchdown. I think I like Tennessee to cover this game. I don't know if they're going to win outright, but I'm willing to ride the hot hand because if they do get on a heater and put up a couple quick touchdowns, Georgia doesn't seem to be the quick strike offense variety.
I agree. Yeah.
Texas Tech, Oregon State should be a win for Texas Tech. Iowa State, Arkansas State should be a win. Texas hosting UTEP. Now a big game, although it's on the CW network, which actually bodes well for South Florida because they're 1-0 on the CW. Number 18, newly ranked South Florida, going to Hard Rock Stadium to take on number 5 Miami, a matchup of 2-0 Florida teams. Miami 17.5 point home favorite, over under 56.
Not much respect for UC or USF here.
I'm on the Bulls again. I think they're going to cover. I don't know. This might not be an outright win.
I think the cover and the under is in play here.
Yeah, I'm a little leery of the over after my overconfidence last week. in the over, but I think South Florida is legit. Does it mean they're going to beat Miami? Probably not, but 17.5 after going on the road to Florida to win smells to me that people don't have a good read on the South Florida team, and the writers want to be right that the fact they didn't put them anywhere near the top 25 at the beginning of the season. I'm my money's on South Florida to cover. I think Miami wins, maybe even by 2 scores, but 17.5 is a lot to lay for a team that just beats a top 15 SEC team
with potentially, well, yeah, say potentially a better defense, but I would say annually they're looked at as a better defensive team, Florida.
Yeah.
But this Miami defense is legit. This the front seven is
front seven
pretty
is
good.
insane.
Yeah.
Ohio State hosting Ohio. I like the over in that game, 49.5. Ohio State might get 50 by themselves.
Yeah, that seems low.
Illinois.
I like Navarro though. He bounced around. Where was he last year though? Because I remember watching some of his games.
Let me see if I can find it quickly.
I think Parker Navarro was a transfer for him.
He is from Arizona.
Am I just totally wrong here? Did I end up watching too many Ohio games last year?
Maction?
I guess I did.
Sorry, wait for ad in your ears. Sorry, everyone. I mean, he did play last year.
All right. I guess I watched a couple of Ohio University games last year. I just remember watching him, and I'm like, yeah, all right, interesting.
There's always there's a guy. Well, I mean, that's how I ran into the Western Kentucky guy. It was just like watching.
God, what awful bets did I put in last year against Ohio? Oh man,
I do. Maction is fun, man. It's hard to turn off the Maction. In the nightcap, there's 3, maybe 4 good games. All sort of with ties to the SEC. You have Arkansas 2-0 going to number 17 Ole Miss. In the 7 o'clock window, you have now unranked Florida going to Death Valley. Ooh, that was a bad ball. Got lucky. I think it picked off there.
That was an arm punt.
That should be an interesting game. I want to see, can Florida bounce back? Like, they need this win to save their season.
Interesting spread there. LSU, which has a touchdown.
Yeah, I think part of that's the home field advantage. Florida's either going to rise up right here or they're going to completely fall apart.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm not interested in buying it down to under 7 and just grabbing LSU. I mean, all I got to do is lose a point. 6.5. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, that's not too bad. All right. Washington's going to get the ball back right about 2-minute warning. Good return.
Ooh, nice return.
All right, so they got a chance to get points here. I feel like they need a touchdown.
It's going to be all Eckler because Bill can't pass protect.
No. We have a top 25 matchup on NBC. You have number 16 Texas A&M going to number 8 Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a 6.5-point home favorite. This is the chance for Texas A&M to prove they're for real. And I think we'll see if Marcus Reed is for real. I want to see how CJ Carr performs in his first home game. Man, talk about the ringer. 2 top 25 games for your first 2 college games as a true freshman. That's pretty insane.
They go. Notre Dame goes 0-2 here against these 2 opponents. Still in the race or no?
I think so. I think for Notre Dame to legitimately not to have a chance to lose
3-loss season, and one of them's got to be an unranked opponent.
Yeah, I think they need to lose 3, and somebody has to get through either the Big 12 or the Group of 5 unscathed for it to even be a conversation. I do think it damages their chance to get a top 4 seed in a bye, whereas a win kind of puts them back on track. But I really think it has to be more than 2 losses because, I mean, you look at Ohio State, they had 2 losses and they had a that bad loss right before the playoff and still got in pretty comfortably. And it's Notre Dame, right? And so push comes to shove, if they're sitting there with 2 losses, and let's say, Vandy, which isn't going to happen, Vanderbilt has 2 losses, they're going to pick Notre Dame. It's just that's the brand power they have. Speaking of Vandy, another 2-0 SEC matchup. Number 11 South Carolina hosting Vandy, only a 3.5-point home favorite. Very interesting spread here for me.
The Fighting Pavias, man. Another
they
random quarterback that I remember watching a ton
of. They must know something that I don't. I understand that they have Diego Pavia, but South Carolina has a better quarterback and better receiver. I see that. To me, I see this as the Sellers Harbor coming out party for real.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm very interested in this game and grabbing South Carolina. There's definitely a couple of stacks here in this college window that are intriguing.
And then nightcap will get number 20 Utah going out to 2-0 Wyoming, who's unranked. I'm just trying to see off the top 25 if there's anything huge that we're missing. I think backyard brawl is always a fun game to watch. Pittsburgh, West Virginia, those two teams hate each other. But again, no longer a ranked matchup. Anything surprise you in the rankings? Georgia dropped 2 spots, even though they won. Oregon went up 2 spots. Clemson dropped a little bit with their bad performance. Michigan still top 25, but down into the 20s. And then we had South Florida, Auburn, Missouri all joined the top 25. They were unranked.
No, surprising. I don't think massive surprises. I think what's interesting is South Florida going from unranked up to 17 or actually 18, but still the massive spread in the Miami game when it's not necessarily an away game. I mean, sure, it's in Hard Rock, but we're right there.
Time zones to get there.
Yeah, I mean, we've had 3+ losses in the top 25 both weeks, so very volatile to get that number by your name. So
somebody
shall
might
see.
be going. Yeah, somebody unexpected might be going down. I mean, obviously, ranked on ranked, somebody has to lose, but we've seen the unranked beat the ranked multiple times in the first 3 weeks of the season so far. So I'm going to rattle off national championship odds. You let me know if you see anything out of the ordinary, too high, too low of these. I'm not going to read everything, but I'll probably read first 10 here. So you got Ohio State 6-1, Penn State 650, Georgia plus 750, Texas plus 800, Oregon and LSU plus 1,000. Notre Dame 1,600, Alabama 1,700, Clemson 2,500. Those are the two that I'm looking at. Like, where have you seen anything in the first 2 weeks?
Yeah, I don't think Clemson needs to be that high on the numerical list. I mean, if you're going to just ask me what sticks out, it's Penn State having nearly the identical odds as Ohio State. I mean, I'm just not touching that with a 30-foot pole.
Yeah. Interesting flyer. I don't trust them, but where they're currently ranked, the conference they play in, the odds given 25-1 Miami intrigues me a little bit.
Yeah, we're seeing a relatively weak ACC. Everybody that represented last year has lost already. So,
yep.
And it doesn't look like UNC came in with kind of the hype they had gotten in the preseason. So I don't think they're a threat. And, you got SMU and Clemson already with losses. Now you've added another ranked opponent to their schedule with the USF. So if they win this game, their resume looks even better at the end of the year.
Yeah. Who else was
of that list? I mean, Oregon is still kind of sleeping at 1,000.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, Miami is technically ranked ahead of them. That's the only reason I was looking, is just to see like any chance at Oklahoma's 35-1 after their win last week. I don't know. I just didn't see if there's anything. That doesn't look like there's any chance to make some crazy money there, but some interesting places where people are put.
Yeah, I'd say at this point, like if you're looking to grab one, I would grab something outside of the top 5. It's just
Sure.
so much more likely that one of those teams can lose than an Oklahoma, an Oregon, a USC can kind of run the table.
Yeah, 58
Miami.
there.
Ooh, he leaked left on the. Yeah, he leaked left again.
No good.
Both times he barely made the 51-yarder on the left side.
That's a rough start.
That's a bad start for the Washington offense. They have not looked good this game. He hasn't had time. Daniels has not had any pocket.
Nope.
Time.
Nope. Totally agree. All right. Anything else on college football before we switch over to NFL?
No, I don't know that I'll tune in tomorrow for the Indiana game, but there's a good slate on Saturday at
Yep.
all kind of 3 time slots.
Yeah, definitely. And even though there weren't a ton of ranked games last week, there was something to pique your interest. You had the Baylor SMU early window shootout, the South Florida upset in the 3:30 window, and then you have the Michigan Oklahoma game to keep you entertained in the nightcap. So they're doing a good job spreading it out. It's hard to come off of that week, the true week one, like just absolute insane slate of games where like you had the quad box and you still were missing 2 good games. It was crazy.
Yeah.
All right, man. Week 1 NFL. Time for we're probably the last in the nation to overreact Monday/Thursday to what we saw in week number 1. Let's just run right through the slate of what happened. So when we were on air, it was the Eagles slogging through 24-20 win over Dallas. Any
CD
big
figures game.
takeaways?
Oh
man. And yeah, what I was reading on Twitter is the worst 7-catch, 120-yard performance of all time.
Yeah,
because he
I would
dropped
agree.
like 3 big ones. I mean, here's the thing: Dallas should have won that game. I don't think Dallas is going anywhere this year, but that would have at least been a statement, something to put your feather in your cap. First game for Brian Schottenheimer. Sucks.
It's an interesting game. Is it the Cowboys aren't so terrible, or is it the Eagles aren't so great, or is Jalen Carter really that valuable?
I mean, it might be a combination of all 3.
Yeah,
I say like I don't know. Wow, if they go down and steal 3 points. Oh,
nope. Doinked it.
Doinked.
No, it's McManus.
McManus. He never misses. Yeah,
no, he never misses short. He always misses left and right. He never comes up short.
Yeah, I mean Philly struggled a little bit, but I want to see can they get it going forward. But that was Dallas's shot on the primetime standalone stage to set a statement, especially given all the negative pub losing Micah Parsons.
Yeah, and I think that's what's interesting is like after this game, the narrative did change. It was no more talk about Micah. It was more like, all right, like that was respectable, which I don't think it doesn't matter in the long run. They lost the game, and I think from a franchise standpoint, they're in trouble. But like the outing was respectable, especially considering what we anticipated. They did give up, over 150 yards on the ground, but that was split between Hurts and Barkley. Like the straight up run defense, for as much as that's what the whole trade was about, wasn't awful. As you know, I mean, I think a lot of people thought that Philly was just going to run away with this, maybe, by 2-3 scores. But I meing, we like you said, I think Dallas should have won this game. Dak didn't play poorly. They being Dallas got a little bit of running juice out of their two new backs, and CeeDee Lamb brings in one of a number of balls off his fingertips. We could be looking at a huge upset.
Yeah. So we didn't pick that game because we were podcasting as it was happening. We did pick the rest of the games, and Week one's always tough to know exactly where things are going to land. You're going to get something right you didn't expect. You're going to have one you were sure was right could be completely wrong. Looking at you, Miami.
Yeah.
We both ended up going 8-7 against the spread. I was the same straight up. You were 9-6 straight up. So overall, I would say a respectable week.
Yeah.
We
Anything in
both
the
took a
black
couple
week one.
swings. Yeah, we both took a couple swings um, that didn't pan out. We both took a couple swings that did work out. So let's go to the Brazil game. The Chargers, I would say a mild upset of the Chiefs, and I was afraid they were going to Charger at the end because very similar to the Cowboys Eagles game, I thought the Chargers totally outplayed the Chiefs throughout the
Yeah.
game, and I thought they were going to choke it away. Man, Justin Herbert looked really good. Again, 1 week sample size. We're going to say that a lot over the next hour here, but that's the best I've seen him look in a long time.
I don't remember the last game that they won that he had over 30 pass attempts. I was very surprised
Sure.
by the offensive game plan, considering that, Hampton had a lot of buzz and Najee was included in the game plan. They sent him back to pass. Like this was kind of new Chargers, especially, the whole offseason was about the running game, was about the line, and then you lose maybe your best lineman and you still just drop back to pass.
Look, you can see a path for the Chargers. I think I want to say I have it over here. I think I had them as my first team out. You had them as one of your last two in.
Last team in, yeah.
They need a lot to break their way because of the conference and the division they play in. But the pieces are there. I was impressed. Like Hampton didn't explode, but man, it's there. Like if he hits the hole, he's gonna take a couple 70 plus this year. They didn't even really use Najee Harris again. As a backup, I'll take him any day of the week.
Sure.
He's just got a lot of tread on the tires, but a sturdy veteran. Your man Quentin Stonehands Johnson.
I don't understand it. I do not understand it.
Well, if it makes you feel better, neither touchdown pass were caught with his hands; they were caught with his jersey. And he had another, like he could have had a 3 touchdown game.
Yeah, he did have his patented drop. Yeah,
he flat out dropped the third one. I think what it does, and again, he's probably not going to shine like that every week. I think it takes pressure off of him having Keenan Allen there. Is like, even though Keenan Allen is not the Keenan Allen of 4 or 5 years ago.
I was surprised at how involved he was, though. 10 targets. He led the team, Allen did.
Yeah, when he's going to run those routes that are always, quote unquote, open, right? Or that Herbert can throw him open.
Yeah.
And it allows Johnson to do what he does well, which is run deep. Like the dude runs like the wind.
That's the thing. He's always open. Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily result in a catch. It's weird. Quentin Johnson probably has one of the higher actual separation rates for a receiver, but until last week it didn't result in production.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we haven't even mentioned Lad McConkey. So it's a very odd 1-2-3 receiving core, but it's so odd that it kind of works because even though Allen and Lad do sort of the same thing, like Lad is so much younger and so much quicker, he can run the stop routes, he can run the curls, and
it's funny
and
they've
Allen,
got a guy
Allen can clear out and still he made a couple incredible catches, just like not that no one catches it, but it's just like Keenan's catching it or it's an incomplete pass. And I think Herbert has never had 2 reliable options, and I'm going to say 2.5 at this point, because so far, again, 1 week sample size, Johnson has shown he's going to catch 75% of the balls off his chest. So we'll see if that trend continues. But I was very impressed with what the Chargers did.
Yeah, they have a receiver at all 3 levels of the field now. They've got Allen for the 5 yards and under. They've got McConkey for the middle, 15-yard routes, and then they've got Johnson who runs kind of the deeper corners and across. It looked good, I have to say. But I think I'm surprised that we were able to even get this far, obviously. But now we're talking about the Chiefs. The first 2 games of the year, 2 massive. Well, one was a suspension / ejection, and the other was a first drive. What was the 3rd play of the game injury? The Chiefs down Rashee Rice due to suspension for the first 6 weeks. lose Xavier Worthy in the first quarter, and boy, that made Mahomes work for it. I don't think I remember seeing him scramble this much last year at any point in time. He did a lot with his legs.
He
Utilize
looked
Hollywood
good.
Brown.
I mean,
Yeah,
he looked
Mahomes
good
looks
running.
great. Yeah, he was very effective in picking up first downs and scrambling for extra time. But they just don't have the horses, I think. Kelsey was limited, not by health, but just he had 2 grabs, and then Hollywood Brown had a lot of underneath stuff. And it's not happening with Juju or Traquan Thornton, going deep consistently.
Yeah,
They're compressed. Their offense is very compressed.
Yeah, there's definitely some red flags probably going up. And this is the second year in a row. I can't remember if it was week 1 or week 2 last year when they lost Rashid Rice.
They lost to
friendly fire.
That was week 2 or 3, after the pick.
Yes, but it's the second time it's been a friendly fire incident. And I think Kelsey went out and said it was his fault because he was supposed to run deeper, but it just looked like an off route to begin with. And it's just tough because the Chiefs are very thin at skill positions. And
it's the one spot they really, that and offensive line were the 2 places they can't afford a long injury. And it looks like he's opting to stay, not opt for surgery, but I've played with one of those kind of shoulder shock braces. They're very like 90s Power Rangers-esque. They give you massive shoulder wings, and you really struggle to kind of get your arms above ear level.
And he's a guy that needs mobility. If Kelsey's wearing it, it's not probably as big a deal.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it's good for them that he's not out for the season. How they're able to use him maybe to stopgap until Rashid Rice comes back will be interesting. It's going to thrust Hollywood into a bigger spot. I thought he responded fairly well. He had 2 bad drops right after the injury happened, but then responded. And again, Hollywood he's there to catch the bubble screens and the deep routes and use his speed to maybe make something happen. And he didn't have an electric play, but it's in there. Like, it's the best he's looked in a while too. So,
Sure.
Encouraging signs, but big flags for the Chiefs. I would say all good signs for the Chargers. All right, let's get into the 1 o'clock window.
We both missed that game.
We both missed that. Oh no, sorry. You picked the Chargers, and I went Chiefs on that. The 1 o'clock window. We can go really anywhere. All right, let's go to Jacksonville. Jaguars 26, Panthers 10. You had Jacksonville at Carolina. What?
With that rain delay, this was a really weird game.
Yeah, it started at 1, ended at like 7. And it was, as a Jags fan, probably the start that you were hoping for. I was interested to see how the backfield split would play out. And I think we have a definitive answer, not only from how the game script went, but then basically immediately after the game, Tank Bigsby got traded. So there is a clear pecking order that's going to be Travis Etienne as the heavy workhorse back with Deshaun Tootin working in as the second. I think Tootin's role is going to grow continuously as the season goes on. I don't know if he passes Etienne, but I can definitely see a path where he's on the field more than just on 3rd down.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people expected Etienne to have the game that he did to start the season. This was a guy last year, really down year. A lot of
he was in doghouse, man.
Yeah, a lot of negative rhetoric about him being around, possibly trade candidate at the end of last season, going all the way up through preseason this year. You draft a running back, in the first 2 days, I think it was, and there's the rumblings of Tank, who in his limited appearance last year looked decent, and he rattles off close to a career high, only on 16 carries, but it really kind of cemented himself, I think, as the one for at least the next couple of weeks, and until he proves otherwise. And I think that was kind of proven with the trading of Bigsby. I just don't think they needed that many guys. Always looking to trade one of them. Probably ideally would have been in the preseason, but they let it play through week one, and ETN kind of made the decision for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He showed them enough, and
I think he's on the last year of his rookie deal. ETN is, and Bigsby was 1 year away from the end of his rookie deal. So
okay. Lawrence looked okay. He didn't look fantastic. It's hard to gauge.
A lot of short stuff.
There's so much downtime between the game.
Yeah, true.
So I'm not willing to just like throw it away completely. I saw some good stuff. I saw some stuff. I think the fact that ETN went wild covered up a few big mistakes. To me, not an overly impressive debut for Trevor. He did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Like, he caught a couple of passes. He got absolutely torched once in coverage, which I think is going to continue to happen. If he's on the field, they're going to hunt him on defense. I don't think he's a good corner. I was impressed with,
also from Kendall,
just
from a usage standpoint.
I just the way that he plays, like it's a prototypical college gambling corner that you can get away with it against a guy that's going to end up working, for like Microsoft, and, and not, like a bad NFL quarterback. So, I really like what Bretton Strange put together. I think he's going to have, and this is directly tied to Tampa, I think he's going to have a Cade Otton like breakout here this year.
Okay.
Liam Cohen is notorious for using his tight end really well, and I think Trevor can take some of that underneath stuff and use it. And Brenton Strange is a unique blend of size and athleticism. I think his target share will grow as the season goes on. Anything else you saw from the Jags before we go over to the Panthers?
No, obviously you had very a very low usage rate from Brian Thomas Jr. I think that is a one-off. We had very low usage rates from a lot of top receivers in week one, like an extreme amount. I think that kind of levels out across the league actually this year.
I'd agree. Okay. Carolina didn't play well, basically at any point in the game. Bryce Young looked more like early last season Bryce Young. Again, there was a couple really nice passes, but there was a lot of bad. So he's got a ways to go. I'm not going to punt on the Panthers. I saw some things that I was hoping to see. Ted McMillan is the man. He is so
he looked
good.
Great. Yeah.
He
just having his way.
He was just abusing people in the secondary, and there were a couple balls that just weren't catchable, but anything in his catch radius, he gobbled up immediately. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. And hopefully if he gets open, Chuba Hubbard can get going a little more. Not the greatest game from him, but they were so far behind at the beginning, like right off the bat. They were just instantly in pass mode. Yeah. He ended up with a total of 90 yards and a touchdown, but it was almost a 50-50 split ground and air. But this team's going to go, the offense is going to go as Bryce goes. If he goes 18 to 35 for $150, a touchdown and 2 picks, they're not going anywhere. If he flips that a little bit, maybe 25 for 35, 220 and 2 touchdowns on a pick, I still like them to be a sneaky good team. They play in a bad division. I'm willing to chalk this up to, it was a wonky game from the start, but they've definitely got to show me something this week before I start raising the red flags on my Panthers.
Yeah, I think the best thing they can do is just toss this game away.
Nice catch. Yeah, for sure. Zach Ertz still doing it, man. The guy's like 50.
Catch and fall down.
Yeah, got the first down. Washington driving out of the half, which is exciting for me because I at least want to be able to stay up and watch a competitive game.
Yeah.
Speaking of Washington, they got on the board with a win last week, 21-6 over the Giants. We both picked this one. I'm sure 90% of America got this right. I saw more bad from the Giants than good from Washington. Would you agree with that?
Go Bill, go Bill. Yeah, and it was offensively. I mean, I think everybody kind of knows what to expect out of the Giants defense. 21 points against Washington isn't atrocious, but you're just unable to move the ball offensively. They had no running game. Russ was struggling across the board. Neighbors was hardly involved. It was just bad, and I don't think anybody's anticipating the Commanders' defenses. This top 5 defensive unit. I mean, they're fine. Dan Quinn's the head coach, and he's always got a decent defense.
Middle of the pack, yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is. I think this year is what a lot of people expected. But, they saw the preseason, saw Dart, saw a couple of the guys flash, saw Scatabo, which was barely involved. Although he did have one of the craziest, 3-yard receptions I've ever seen. Threw 3 guys off of him, which was pretty awesome, actually.
Gained 3 yards, yeah.
Yes. But I don't see him, being anything but necessarily a change of pace guy for the first month or two. Not that Tracy's anything to write home about, but I think it's just a matter of time before we see Dart. And it was interesting to hear that Dayball had to confirm after week 1 that he was sticking with Russ, which just goes to show you, the clock is at 11:59 on Russ's career, probably. I'm surprised that if they didn't want to go with Dart until, October, November, that you don't go with Jameis. At least make Neighbors happy. Neighbors will have fun with Jameis.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Malik still put up numbers, but I feel bad, but I don't feel bad for Russell Wilson. And the Denver situation was rough from the get-go. He didn't play well. Peyton didn't like him. But then the last 2 situations, it's just been weird the way that both teams, Pittsburgh and the Giants, went out and got a quarterback and then got Russell Wilson. And so he's already fighting the battle of there was excitement when the Steelers grabbed Justin Fields. Hey, he's a reclamation project, but man, that guy's exciting. Oh no, another miss.
Oh wow. 2 doinks.
Washington's just got to start going for it. And then
I think at this point they're done with it. They're done trotting him out.
With the Giants, when you sign Jameis Winston and where you're picking, you knew they were going to go quarterback. You maybe didn't know it was going to be Dart right away, but you're excited for the prospect of Jameis just launching balls everywhere. You don't know who's going to catch it, but it's not going to hit the ground. Someone's going to catch it. You just don't know which jersey he's wearing. With Russell Wilson at this point in his career, he's such a game manager, and he doesn't really. I mean, he ran actually decent in this game, but he doesn't run a lot, and it was just very pedestrian and blah. And when you have 2 exciting options on the bench, the yells, the screams for Russ's head, are going to come way faster than they did in Pittsburgh. I don't know. It seems weird to say that I don't think the Giants have great chances of winning games until they play one of the other 2, even though they're going to make way more mistakes. I think it's the chance that the upside that they could be really good.
Exactly. They're either going to get blown out and it's going to be really ugly, or they're going to be in games or win games they have no business winning.
Yep.
They're going to be the impossible team to bet on or against.
If you know who the starter is, I think you know where you could possibly bet.
If it's Jameis, I'm never betting them.
Okay.
I'm watching.
Okay. I meant if you knew it was Russ, it was pretty safe bet against. I guess that's where I was at. All right, let's talk about the Jets Steelers game.
Dude, game.
I'm going to lay out. I want to hear.
This was the game of the week until the night game.
I want to hear. Oh yeah, very true. I want to hear your thoughts before I overreact, I guess.
So I unhealthily watched a good portion of this game. I was way off on
So
this game. I
normally I would say
was betting the
sorry,
under.
but the Jets were entertaining for once.
Yeah, yeah. I bet the under, which was blown by halftime. The under was 30 points.
I think Vegas raked it in on the over in this game.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I I was impressed with the three stars of the Jets offense, which was the quarterback, the running back, and the number one wide receiver. Um, it's like if you built a Madden team back in the days when you used to fantasy draft Madden, like you wouldn't really care about anybody but those three. And that's pretty much the whole offense was those three. I thought Fields looked as good as he's looked as a pro. Passing the ball, too, I was impressed. Now he did zero in on Garrett Wilson a lot, but when, that's not a terrible option. He didn't really put the ball in harm's way. He didn't get sacked, even though, he was under duress quite a bit. Scrambled a lot, which is, customary for him. I don't know that they had as many designed runs for Fields as he used to get in Chicago. But Breece Hall was ripping 6 yards a carry again, which was great to see. They didn't really use Allen to the level that they did before, where he was like almost a 50-50, 60-40 split. His effectiveness was awful. He did plunge into the end zone, but it was impressive, I thought, the Jets offense. I don't remember the last time the Jets put up 32 points. It's been a while.
Yes.
I think with what you have here now, I was disappointed by the defense. But if the Jets offense can give you this kind of production against what we believe is another run of the middle of the pack defense in Pittsburgh, there's reason for mild optimism.
Okay. Good. So I don't want to overreact. This team has taken years off of my life. And after how badly the last two seasons have gone, it was a breath of fresh air. Like it stunk to lose the game. I was just excited to watch a Jets game from beginning to end. I had no expectation of them being anywhere remotely close to winning this game. And I don't know that this offense of production lasts, but the Jets very clearly made it their identity that they're going to be a running team. And Pittsburgh knew it was going to happen, and they could do absolutely nothing to stop it. Like I think maybe once they got stopped on a 3rd and short. I agree with you. I thought Fields as a passer looked fairly confident. I don't think the Steelers secondary is, top notch, but he hit throws. He was on time. And after he read his first two reads, if it wasn't there, he did what he does really well, which is run. And again, he didn't get like lit up on his hits. He took a lot of hits, but there wasn't like please get up hit. I think there was probably every intention to go 60-40 split with Hall and Allen, but once Breece got going, I haven't seen that in
the same as ETN.
Year. I don't think I've seen that in a year and a half from him, which was a great breath of fresh air. I was impressed with the offensive line. The rookie first-round pick basically neutralized to the best of his ability. TJ Watt. I mean, I didn't hear TJ Watt's name all that often.
He had the singular sack, but that was about it. If I remember.
Yes,
correctly.
but again, like he's a game wrecker, and I don't think he wrecked this game. Like he obviously you game plan for him, and he's going to get his numbers. But there are games where it's just like he's in the backfield before the ball is even snapped, and I didn't really see that from him.
No, I mean the Jets kept the ball out of harm's way from the offensive standpoint. Their special teams guy was well, Was is the right word because he's already been clipped.
Oh,
Which is
gotcha.
just
Yeah.
which is just funny because what was it like? Literally week 1 of last year, he had the kick return to end the game for a win, and then
He did.
this year he gets cut after week 1 after
I mean, so look,
brutal
this is
fumble
where
and almost 2 brutal fumbles.
this is where I get a little lost in the weeds. So he's touched the ball, I think it was at 185 times, like touched the ball, and he's fumbled on 9% of his touches. That's a really high rate with such a low number of touches. So I am not sad to see him go. Again, if the return game is going to be as featured as it has been so far through the first week and now one game of the season, I would rather have a guy gain 25 yards and never fumble than have a guy that can rip one a season, but he's going to fumble 5. Because
that makes sense.
The Jets, in my opinion, the Jets 100% outplayed the Steelers from kick to kick. And the Steelers had one good drive in the third quarter. The fumble immediately led to a second touchdown. And then their all-world kicker hit a 60-yard walk-off field goal. It took 3 really good strokes of luck and time on the Steelers side to win the game. Because this is where I want you to. I felt like the Jets were the better team. Doesn't mean they're going to be all season, but on that Sunday, the Jets played better than the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean,
the Jets found a way to jet, of course.
It's very similar to another game that we'll cover, which is the Bills game. The Jets outplayed them for 55 minutes, but the last 5 minutes were enough for the Pittsburgh to get the win.
Yes, the Jets are not the Ravens, though.
No, I agree. And to be honest with you, the amount of emotion was in this game. It's a very real, and if I was a betting man, probably would bet that this is the best both teams will look all season. I think there was so much emotion charged in this. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers played that good of a game. He was checked down Charlie, and he got credited for a touchdown where he literally handed the ball off to his tight end. On his third touchdown, the cornerback legitimately fell down. He looked slow. He looked old. He didn't take any chances. In fact, his air yards were the worst in his career. He threw the ball on average 5.5 yards short of the first down marker and just trusted like his freak athlete DK Metcalf to just break 7 tackles. Like, if this is the performance, I know 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. If Aaron Rodgers plays like this every week, he won't last till week 8, and they won't go 500. And then the comments he made, like, I'm a jaded Jets fan, but this guy is such an asshole. Like, he ruined the last 3 seasons for the Jets. Aaron Glenn wanted to be part of him because of what he
entire key to the kingdom.
I'm happy to beat anyone associated with the Jets organization. Like, get the heck out of here, man. Like, it's just I cannot wait for him to get his comeuppance, and I have never liked Rodgers, and then going to the Jets and what he did to the Jets made me hate him even more. And so the only reason I'm super upset they lost the game is because it became the narrative. And thank God for the Bills-Ravens game, because my God, they were going to anoint this guy. Every pundit's talking about like how flawless he played. He played like trash, man. Like,
he played like a 41-year-old.
He got bailed out on like 3 terrible penalties. And he was just checking the ball. Like, until Caleb Williams took the field, that he was by far the biggest check down merchant I've seen. Like, the furthest ball he threw in the air was 30 yards, and it was 10 yards over the receiver's head. So, like, if this is the Rodgers you get, this is complete fool's gold, Steelers fans. Like, you're not going anywhere.
I was see impressed with being as good as this for the rest of the season.
As bad as the Jets secondary was outside of Sauce, who I thought did decent. DK had 83 yards, but most of it came on one play. I thought Sauce did decent traveling for the first time in his career. He's up until now been one side of the field corner, but he was assigned to DK and hold DK to 4 catches under 100 yards and no touchdowns. Like, I'll sign up for that.
Yeah.
The run defense was good. The Jets couldn't tackle air last year. Jalen Warren is not a Hall of Fame running back, but he's good rack, and they kept him under 40 yards.
You did have kind of a changing at the guard at linebacker over the offseason, so this might be a sign of things to come.
True. Well, yes, and I love Williams, but man, he took a bad penalty with the late hit out of bounds.
Yeah,
that hurt too, just as much as the fumble. It kept the drive alive. I know the Steelers won the game. I know I'm an Aaron Rodgers hater. I didn't see anything from their offense. It's like, oh my God, they're going to light the world on fire. I don't think people are talking they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm like, they're not going to make the playoffs. But
yeah,
that's just my jaded opinion.
Yeah, this game didn't change my kind of preseason prediction for either team. I think the Jets are around a 6 to 7 win team that Fields is going to get a good tryout for, and I think the Steelers are another close to 500 season that are going to get kicked out probably week 17, week 18 of the playoff hunt.
All right. We'll close the door on that. Let's move over to Cardinals Saints, which to me was much closer than I thought. Cardinals,
Yep.
I'm going to say hung on because they were up 20-7. Hung on to beat the Saints. It's hard to win on the road in the NFL. Not to say this is a must win, but this is one you circle like, we're going to win this game because we have to win it if we're going to make the playoffs. You're pretty high on the Cardinals this year. What did you think of their performance?
Yeah, I was feeling great at halftime. I was like, all right, everything looks good. Marvin Harrison looked pretty decent.
Cruising.
Yeah.
He had a great game.
Yeah, we saw James Conner and Benson kind of get a nice split, and the defense looked good. Although I will say, regardless of the second half, Will Johnson looked real good at corner, so I was real happy about that.
Yes, I was.
But I didn't expect Rattler
to put up 50. And I was just.
No, I'm sorry. I think we're a little delayed and we're on top of each other, but. I didn't expect Rattler to drop back 50 times in this game. If this is going to be the Saints to completely abandon the run, I mean, they'll be they won't be the worst watchable game. It'll be entertaining, so I'll take that. But yeah, I thought the Cardinals kind of got a little complacent in the second half. I'm not worried about the Cardinals. I mean, at the end of the game they won. When they needed to look good, they did, and if anything, the Saints, although I still think are going to be the worst team in the league, aren't going to be the least watchable team in the league.
Yeah. I think, the Saints are going to air it out. I feel bad for Alvin Kamara. Boy, when I was talking over you, Will Johnson looked great, and he absolutely annihilated a receiver. And I was just crossing my fingers that it wasn't Olave, and of course it was. But he did get up, which was nice.
Yeah.
But man, that's why you can't have Spencer Rattler as your quarterback. Like, that play was doomed from the start, and the fact the guy you're throwing it to, and he just hung him out to dry, and he got lit up. And then people are mad at Will Johnson. Like, what do you want him to do? Not tackle the guy? Like, it was a clean hit. Right. It was like through a hospital ball.
There's a lot of hospital balls. A lot.
Yeah. If this was your plan, like Kellen Moore's plan is to air it out, then why did you not spend a first-round pick on a quarterback? Yeah. I would have loved to see Jackson Dart throw it 46 times in week 1. I would have loved to see Jameis Winston stay in New Orleans and throw the ball 46 times. It's just like, of all the people, we got to watch Spencer Rattler chuck it 46 times. Like, I
can get behind that frustration. I'm with you. That's a bad pass by Daniels.
Let's just say, if you knew the plan, why did you cheap out on quarterback?
Yeah. It's frustrating, right? I would almost sign up for any other starting quarterback and a couple of backups to chuck it around the field. But Rattler to get 200 yards on 46 attempts, it's frustrating.
It's bad. All right. Next game was Raiders going on the road to the Patriots, spoiling the Mike Vrabel homecoming 20-13. Ashton Genty got a rushing touchdown. And the Raiders defense really showed up in this game. That they sort of made Drake May a check down merchant in this game, which is not his game at all.
Yeah, this was almost one of my survivor picks. I'll be honest with you. I was pretty much on the Raiders from go on this game. A big buoy to that was Christian Gonzalez being rolled out late in the week. Not that I think Jacoby Myers or really anybody outside of Bowers is a world beater for the Raiders receiving core, but Geno's good enough to take advantage of lesser cornerback play, and he threw for over 350 yards. Bowers looked good, but then got injured, and I don't know what that status looks like. Genty was bottled up a lot. I mean, it was kind of like we saw a lot of him in college, 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yard, -5 yards.
In the playoffs, yeah.
And then you wait for like that 70-yard hit, and it just never came. Not saying it won't, but it didn't happen in this game. But they won despite that. So I think the Raiders are feisty. And I think Geno and Carroll are a nice mix. And this is an interesting team to watch. If this defense can continue to play well, I don't think the Patriots are a top half of the league on offense. But the Raiders are somewhat of a complete team that are well below the radar right now.
Yeah, and I was definitely on the Patriots in this game, and I think they will be okay. I thought May looked okay. Keyshawn Boutte had the Keyshawn Boutte game, so he probably won't do anything the rest of the season. They couldn't run the ball, which was surprising to me. But I saw enough good where I'm not off. It's like the Panthers. I'm less concerned about the Patriots than the Panthers, but I haven't seen anything to run me off my take that I think they're going to make the playoffs. Vrabel's just too good of a coach, and there's a couple of teams that really laid an egg in this first week that I thought the Patriots. To me, this is one they should have won. It's going to make their path to the playoffs harder, but they weren't awful. They just didn't play their best.
I'll tell you a team that definitely didn't play their best. I said a team that definitely didn't play their best in the same division, being the Miami Dolphins that took both of us for a ride.
Ooh. Yeah, woof. Oh my God, 33-6. Like the Colts stink too, man, and they hung a 30 burger. Woof. You want to start with the good or the bad? I guess you want to talk. I guess
it's hard to know what's really good, to be honest with you, because people are singing the praises of Daniel Jones, and it's like, relax.
Yeah, I expected a shootout because the Dolphins' defense is not good, especially their secondary. They're banged up and they weren't good to begin with. They have a couple like all name team guys like Storm Duck starting at the outside corner spot. That's a great name, but he's not a terrific football player. The same thing like Chop Robinson, not a great name, not a terrific football player. I was really surprised how bad Tua looked. He really looked bad. And again, it's one game and he can bounce back, but I gotta feel like this goes back to my point last week. Is just like the Mike McDaniel cutesy wootsy offense is just not working anymore. And
run its course.
Here's the thing: the touchdown they scored was a 4th and goal from the 11, and they ran a 2-yard swing pass, and Devon Achane broke 4 tackles to get in the end zone. Like, credit on him. Like, he's an incredible player, but like to call that play the designed swing pass, it wasn't even a check down. Like, they had guys out in front of him blocking. Like, they were designing a swing pass on 4th and goal down 30. Like, that, it was just a head scratcher. My boy Zach Wilson looked good when he went in, though, baby. Yeah, let's go. He's gonna. I just wish he wasn't wearing 0. Ah, such a sad
Yeah,
number.
I don't think the King Zach Wilson in week 1 was on the bingo card, but
Oh man, yeah, it's great to see him chucking the rock with confidence.
the Dolphins are in for a rough season, man. I didn't expect the wheels to fall off this quickly. It didn't even look like an NFL team. I mean, honestly, the game plan, the quarterback play, the offensive line, like this is reminiscent of the tank for Tua type of Dolphins.
They look like the Jets, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just constipated offense. A lot of big names, but a constipated offense.
I need to see the Colts do this to what we think are going to be good teams before I get excited about the Colts. I don't think I'll ever be excited about the Colts, but let's see this offense move this well against Denver this week. Let's just say that.
Yeah, or I was going to say even Houston in the division. Houston has quietly had probably top, I would say for sure top 15, maybe top 10 defense. Houston's defense is legit.
Yeah.
But I mean, good on the Colts. Like, I think everyone and their brother was picking Miami in this game, and
both of us brothers took Miami in this game.
Yes,
I absolutely agree. I absolutely
agree. Brothers dumb. I let's see what happens when they take on Denver. But I did feel good for Daniel Jones that, like, he has one of these every season. The question is, can he put it together? Like, the physical tools are there. Like, he's an incredible athlete for a white guy. They have enough horses. I thought Tyler Warren had a really good debut. He's kind of like a poor man's Brock Bowers, if you will. Michael Pittman still doing it. And then he kind of spread the ball around. Like, Pierce got open. Jonathan Taylor had a decent game. They used their backup a lot, but again, I think that
they took Taylor out at halftime almost.
I think, right, because they know he's going to get hurt and worn down. But DJ Giddens was serviceable. Like, they didn't, obviously, the game was out of reach, but there wasn't really a drop off. I mean, I think this is just a really poor game plan from Miami and even worse execution, and the Colts were the beneficiaries, but they still put up 30 points. That's pretty impressive.
Sure.
To me, one of the more head-scratching games was the Bengals-Browns. Bengals won for the first time since George Bush was president on opening day, which is big. Because they usually start 0-5. So I think you can't overlook that thought. But, man, they were really, really trying to give that game away.
Yeah, not terrible first half. And they just got progressively worse. And they couldn't put the Browns away.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, Flacco's going to, more likely than not, he's going to keep you in a game. I don't think he's going to go out and win you a game. But he had a chance to, and I'm gonna take the blame off of Joe's shoulders and put it pretty squarely on the kicker. The Browns, again, just like the Cowboys, let this one get away. This could have been another upset in the saga that is the Cincinnati Bengals in September.
Yeah, again, another high octane offense that just seems stuck in the mud. Like, I'm not sure anyone had a good offensive game from the Bengals. Like, Chase Brown scored, but he averaged 2 yards a rush. Burrow was getting lit up in the pocket.
Noah Fant
threw for 100 yards. Noah Fant had a decent game.
This game, or to this team, I think I would love for them to just move on from Gesicki and give Fant all the reps.
Why are we going to Noah Brown so much? What are we doing?
I would love to know this. Yeah, the Commander's offensive game plan tonight is not top notch.
No. Are you concerned, Jamar Chase, 2 catches, 26 yards, or one off because it was week 1?
I'm not concerned. It's a divisional rivalry. The Browns have pretty good secondary. And Burrow, I mean, it's not like Burrow lit it up anywhere else. Like, the both of them go on the same track, right? When Burrow's firing, it's usually to Chase. And I think I think this is, kind of typical slow Bengals start. Good divisional opponent. I mean, Burrow was hassled quite a bit in the backfield. I think Garrett had 3 sacks on one drive, almost one for a safety. So I'm looking for them to bounce back in what I think is a sneaky shootout this week, which we'll preview. But I think they have the schedule for a get right here on the offensive side, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest hurdle that they cleared was it was week 1 and they won a football game.
You needed the win, yeah, because eventually last year you just ran out of W's.
Psychologically, it goes a long way for a team that, if they can get out of their own way, has a chance. I don't know if they're a Super Bowl contender because I'm still concerned about that defense, but they have the offensive firepower to go as far as they want, and they have the ability to beat anyone on any given Sunday. So if they're in the hunt, I like their chances just based on the weapons they have. Speaking of weapons, let's talk Buccaneers, Falcons, 2 of the more exciting offenses. Again, there wasn't a laser light show, but I'm excited to watch both these offenses the rest of the season.
This was a good game.
We had the Emeka Ibuka game. 2 touchdown catches for the rookie receiver out of Ohio State. Looks to have slid right into the Chris Godwin role, and won't give that up. Again, I am a homer. Man, Michael Penix looked really good. Again,
agree.
Probably mediocre Bucs defense, but of the last year rookie quarterbacks, Penix looked the best by quite a lot on Sunday.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to concede. I think he looked real good, poised, more athletic than I think he gets a lot of credit for, especially kind of scrambling and straight up running. Those plays towards the end of the game in the red zone were really impressive.
Yes, and what's interesting is if you follow the 20-year college career of Michael Penix, when he went to Indiana, he was a run-first quarterback, and he just, like, every appendage on him has been broken in half, and so he looks weird when he runs, but he is still fairly athletic. And again, like, just go gadget arm twice in the fourth quarter, like, humanly impossible the way that he stretched his body to not go down on the 1 yard line. I watched the still and I'm just like, how is he doing that?
What is Jalen Daniels doing?
I don't know. This is not. I think the clock is off in his head because he's been hit so much.
I mean, he just had Debo wide open for a first down and just didn't even look over there, and then threw the ball 5 yards shy.
Yeah, this is not a good showing from Washington so far. This might be the game right here if they don't get the first down.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts season, maybe.
I think you would just want to be attached to all the Falcons skill players. It just looks like a team that's going to be in a lot of games, going to run a lot of plays, and they've got a facilitator who's going to give it to their skill guys.
They seem very San Diego Chargers, Phillip Rivers down by a score.
Sure. Yeah.
With the whole field to go, and he already has 3 touchdowns and 400 yards. When they had healthy Mike Williams and Keenan Allen and Antonio Gates and Damian Tomlinson, like, just an all-world offense trying to make up for a Swiss cheese defense, and it should be a fun watch. Like, for as bad as the Saints are, I am really excited to watch the other 3 teams in the NFC South, especially when they play the Saints, just to see who can hang a big number.
Yeah, I thought this was a good game for the Bucs to win. Like I had said yesterday, this is an interesting. They were up against it here with the schedule makers, because this was a tough road divisional game to win when I think they need to go 4-2 to 5-1 in the division to make the playoffs. I think this goes a long way. And what I think could be a great Bucs season, and this was by comparison of last year, this was a significant downgrade Baker Mayfield game. So if if he doesn't have too many of these and they can get this one behind him with a win against a quality opponent, I think Bucs fans should be thankful and pretty happy here.
Yeah, I mean, he was fairly inaccurate. I mean, he still ended up with 3 touchdowns, no picks. Kind of a grinder of a game. They didn't run the ball particularly well, and maybe that was by design from Atlanta, was to sell out to stop Bucky and Rashad White, which I thought they did a pretty good job of. But again, it's these are two teams where I feel fairly confident their offense is always going to put up 20 to 30 points a week, and it's can their defense get enough stops. And can they avoid? These are two teams that notoriously just get hammered with injuries. It's like, can you avoid the big time injury losses as the season progresses? All right. Does that close the 1 o'clock window? I think so. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's talk Broncos, man. Denver 20, Tennessee 12.
Best defense in the league.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
Most concerning quarterback week 1 in the league.
Yeah, Bo didn't look great. He didn't make good reads. Like he was
throwing
Bo Nix throughout his career
the wrong spot.
Yeah, he's been 2 different quarterbacks. There was Oregon Bo Nix that was super efficient, on time, never really put the ball in harm's way, and threw with confidence. And then there was Auburn Bo Nix, who played like he was literally on fire at all times, even though kind of like Ricky Bobby pretending he's on fire, even though there was no actual fire. And that's sort of what I saw from him on Sunday. And I don't, the Titans were close, but it didn't feel like he was under an awful amount of duress, but he made some bad throws. He did make some really good throws, and they enough to win the game. Cortland Sutton, the ball that he caught was incredible. I really liked your rookie running back Harvey. He was explosive. Dobbins did enough. There's some good things, but definitely
the running backs.
Yeah. But I will say, if you remember back to Bo Nix's rookie debut against the Seahawks, this looked very similar to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he ended up having
what's interesting is, yes, right. So I have reason to believe that this is, not how the whole season is going to look based on how bad it looked at the beginning of last year. The problem being a big part of the reason they improved last year was because the first 3 weeks were nothing longer than 10 yards. And then they just opened the downfield playbook, and that's when he got better. The whole playbook was open to him, and he looked bad at all 3 levels of the field. So I am a little more concerned that way. I don't think that we're going to be surprised by the end of the year how good the Titans defense is. I just think it needs to be a lot better. I was surprised by how much they leaned on Bo, especially in the first quarter. I think their first drive was 8 passes in 1 rush, which is a little too much for me. But I think this was potentially one of the biggest escape wins of week 1. But I do know, and I think it's been confirmed, the Denver defense is legitimately gonna be fighting for that number 1 defensive spot all year long. A lot of the points that were given up here were because of field position.
Sure.
I think there was actually 1 drive. They had 6 sacks on Cam Ward, who I don't think looked terrible, but they had 6 sacks on Cam Ward. He gave up 7 first downs all game.
I'm curious your thoughts on how you thought Cam Ward, but the stat line looks bad. But if you watch the game,
it wasn't his fault.
He played better than the stat line, and I saw some really good things. He ate a couple of sacks that were definitely his fault, but he didn't try to play hero ball. He didn't force the ball until they were down late, and so that was some of the incompletions. But good 12 for 28. 112 yards is not a great stat. I thought he played okay against the Denver defense.
Yeah,
there was a lot of drops.
He made a couple of plays single-handedly that resulted in 3rd and long conversions, that type of thing. I mean, it was impressive. He definitely had flashes. He can improve. Oh, get up at the one. No, I needed a Bill plunge there.
Zach Ertz with the stop and start. Oh my god.
I don't think. I think that this is more of a product of the team quality here with the Titans. I think Cam will be fine. I didn't have reason to believe that he is going to struggle this year.
Yeah. If you're a Titans
he just doesn't have. They don't have bad use of pun here, but they don't have the horses to help him on offense. And in fact, the one guy you thought he could lean on was the worst of them with the drops from Calvin Ridley.
Ridley, yeah. I think if you're a Titans fan, you have to be. There's going to be some growing things. Yeah. I thought I saw enough, and like if you only look at the stat, like man, he was awful, but I thought he really played a decent game. I mean, he was not a bottom 5 quarterback, even though statistically he probably is after week 1. I would take him over probably 10 to 15 quarterbacks right now on my
team. Sure.
All right. Any concern that this could go sideways on Denver as well as the defense played?
No, because I don't think that they're ever going to be out of a game because of the defense. I think they have vastly is a weird word to use, but they have a largely improved running game this year from what I saw in week 1, which is something that Denver hasn't had for a decade. So I'm excited to see what a good rushing offense and a good defense can do. And, maybe what I saw, especially in the first 2 drives, was, okay, we have got an outstanding quarterback. He's just going to go out and sling it and win the game for us. That's not what I want Bo to be. I want Bo to be a athletic game manager that doesn't put the defense in bad spots.
Mm-hmm.
If they can get that kind of
absolutely
game out of Bo, then they're going to be in every game. But if they get this kind of game, a good offense will take advantage of the short field and they will capitalize.
For sure. All right, let's keep it rolling, man. We had San Francisco going to Seattle, coming out with a 17-13 win.
With my
San Francisco. Oh, yes. But San Francisco just can't stay healthy. Goodness gracious. They lost George Kittle in the game after he scored a touchdown. And then reports came out earlier today that Brock Purdy's going to miss 2 to 5 weeks. So it's Mac Jones season. So good job getting your fantasy survivor pick out of the way, because I'm not touching them.
Never using them again.
Mac Jones pole. Yeah.
Oh, I agree. I will be interested, though, to see Mac, because he wasn't the worst last year when he filled in for Trevor in Jacksonville.
Sure. I'm not pinning my hopes to him long term.
No, I mean no, I agree. It's important that they got this win, and we'll see if he can keep them afloat.
Yep, absolutely. Can they go 500 with him? If there's 4 weeks, can they go 2-2 and keep their season afloat? Sam Darnold is full pumpkin mode.
Yeah, this is what I thought the Seahawks were going to be. Tito, stop.
It's all right, Tito. Welcome to the show. Back to the show. I was more concerned with their run game. I thought Sam Darnold did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Just started with locked on to GS, and they couldn't run, man. That's their identity.
Yeah. This two-headed monster is, a two-headed fairy. Just not good.
Yep. Okay, so you don't sound too interested in talking about the Seahawks. We'll move on.
Well, it's my dog. He's annoying me.
Oh,
Tito, stop.
Get him, Tito. Get
Go
on.
downstairs. We're not talking about Ken Walker. Go downstairs.
But one of the more entertaining low-scoring games of the day was the Rams-Texans game. Two quietly good defenses that get more pub for the offenses of their teams because of the star power on that side of the ball. But again, for a 14-9 game, it was entertaining. Partially for me as a fantasy owner of Puka Nacua to see how many times he would go to the injury tent.
Wounded Warrior Project.
Man, jeez, he was a zombie. Like, he took two helmet-to-helmet contact hits on the same play, busted open like, Rocky, and goes into the tent, evaluated for a concussion, comes back. Then they kicked him out of the game, the spotter, because he got hit again in the head.
Yeah.
And the man is just an absolute machine. And Matthew Stafford just was like, I'm just going to keep throwing until he can't move anymore. Just kept throwing to him, even though he had Devontae Adams. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And like Nacua did not miss a single helmet. He got absolutely plastered on all 10 of his catches.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's not going to survive the season, but it was a roller coaster of emotions for me watching that game. I thought Matt Stafford looked good. Look, a healthy Matt Stafford is going to give the Rams a chance in every game he's in. I just don't know if that number is going to be more than 10 games this year. That's the question.
Right. I'm so sorry.
That's right, Tito.
Let me get him on here. Hold on.
All right, we'll filibuster for a minute here. We've got Packers looking to drive the knife into the heart of the Commanders, who did score a touchdown on the last drive. It was Zach Ertz 20-yard reception. Jordan Love's got the Packers in position here. He looks a little more accurate than he did, although he didn't have to be super accurate against the Lions. Josh Jacobs already in the end zone, looking for more across the 50. Sorry, I was just filibustering there.
That's
okay. So, anything you saw from the Texans? I know they only put up 9. A little concerning the target share for Nico Collins. I thought he'd be more featured.
Yeah, especially with no take Dell. I was surprised. Really, nobody got it going for the Texans on offense. I'll tell you what the biggest surprise was. Chubb didn't look bad. Everyone wrote off Nick Chubb.
I was happy for him. He got through the game healthy, but he looked good. Again, people are kind of saying like Stroud keeps regressing. I thought he was okay. Like it wasn't great.
What he had to work with. Yeah, I don't think it was too bad. Hell, we saw him run a couple of times in this game.
Yep.
But really, I think 19 different completions to almost 19 different guys.
Yeah,
that was wild.
Ones on the catch sheet.
That was wild. I expected Nico to have a bigger impact than that in this game, but the rookie Jaden Higgins actually led the team in yards. They're going to need somebody like him to kind of find his footing early to make up for kind of lack of significant depth at the receiver position.
Yeah.
It's a game that I had as a coin flip, so I'm not surprised with the result. I think both teams equally needed this game / couldn't lose this game. It helps the Texans. I think they're in a slightly easier division than the Rams. So I don't think that this is a panic move, although I would like to see the offense get some significant traction in week 2 for the Texans.
For me, one of the biggest red flag games was the Packers-Lions game. The Lions looked really, really bad.
It was ugly.
And I think we both had talked last week that we see regression happening, but we thought that it would be because of the talent they had. We wouldn't see that until week 10. They couldn't really do. I mean, here's the crazy thing: Goff only had 8 incompletions, and they had no chance in this game.
Yeah, it definitely felt like they were out of it from the get-go.
Yeah, they couldn't run the ball. Like neither guy
Yeah,
got going.
yeah, it was surprising.
I think losing.
I know the
I
coordinator
think losing
and all that
Ragnow.
is huge. Yeah, I think there's only so much that the coordinator can be, kind of not blamed for, but given credit for. But I think a kind of what went under that radar was what was being masked by the loss of coordinator was the loss of Ragnow.
Yeah, yeah, that's a huge loss. Like it the guys in the receiving game got numbers, but it was they were down so fast, so early, and the game just felt like it was over at halftime. Although I mean, look, Packers making the Commanders look bad. The Packers were,
Yeah, they are.
Packers are my pick to get to the Super Bowl, and through a week and 3 quarters, I don't see anything to take me off of that pick. Again,
They got to feel pretty comfortable.
they're relatively thin at running back. They have 8 of the exact same receiver, but the defense looks better than I thought. I was worried about picking them because of their defense, and they shut down a really talented Detroit team, and they're slowing down a really talented Washington team. So far, they're rewarding my gamble on them. But if this continues, man, this looks really good. If you're a Packers fan, you got to be ecstatic right now.
Yes, absolutely. And there's touchdown. Kraft. Big night.
Kraft, macaroni and cheese. I got to be playing him in fantasy. I don't even want to look in the middle of the field.
Yeah, big night for Kraft.
Kraft going for 2 touchdowns. Me, I got to be playing him somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh boy, there's a big number on that guy. Oh, okay, I'm playing against Love. Okay, all right, that's not awful. I just saw a big number, and I was hoping it wasn't Kraft. Okay. So going into the night game, this was quite the game. My wife is a huge Bills fan. We were riding the roller coaster of emotion, and this game, I mean, this game was over, dude. I don't. This is one of those, and it's hard because it's the Bills. If the football guys are not on the Bills side, I don't know what happened in the fourth quarter of this game. Like every conceivable thing that could happen to keep them alive did, like including Derrick Henry fumbling. Like just after having again, he destroys the Bills. It's just there's nightmares of Derrick Henry running untouched for 80 yards in every game.
Yeah.
Against the Bills. Lamar went for 209 and he had 3 total touchdowns. He had 70 yards on 6 carries. Henry had 170 yards on 18 carries. Like Zay Flowers went insane. The Bills defense is absolutely awful. And despite all of that, like even when they were down 15 and the game was over, it's just like there was that slight, you never know. Like if the Jets are down 15 with 4 minutes to go, the game's over. But there was something about the way the game was trending. And then when the fumble happened, I was like, oh, the door just opened up a little more than a crack. And it's just wild to see. Like it's
happened to Baltimore more than any other team.
Yes. And I think that's my bigger point I'm seeing here is that John Harbaugh is a good coach, no doubt. But there are a select number of coaches that when and I think McDermott is in this boat too, although I'm much more of a critic of his tactics.
Weird.
Yeah, it just the decision to not go for it, and I realized that he had just fumbled, but like if the game was 20-19, sure. But at no point in the second half had your defense come even close to slowing the Bills down. I just don't know why you give them the ball back.
Right.
But I did see again offensively. I saw a ton of good stuff from both teams. Defensively, I knew the Bills' defense was bad.
Yes.
I was surprised how easily in the second half the Bills moved the ball on the Ravens defense. I do think the Ravens defense figures it out. It's hard to contain Josh Allen for 4 quarters. I thought he looked really good. Like again, like obviously he's the MVP, but considering the pressure he's up against, knowing he's basically got to score on every drive, I was impressed. Keon Coleman had a great game, and that's got to be, if you're a Bills fan, again, you got to be pretty
Yeah, that's
happy
very
with what you saw.
promising.
He flashed a little last year, but nothing near this. Shakir did well. I really like the addition of Josh Palmer. Cook was better in the pass game. Like the Bills have a ton of really good weapons to throw. No one that's going to be like, oh my gosh, we have to stop this guy. And maybe that's what makes him good this year, is the fact that it can be death by 1,000 cuts.
Sure. Yeah, they
But
had some guys who had slow starts or slow seasons last year kind of get back online. I was impressed with both the tight ends, but Kincaid found the end zone, which is something that he didn't do a lot last year. I'm not nervous about either team. I'm frustrated if I'm a Ravens fan, but I don't see cause for concern outside of what we already knew, which was that your team somehow holds the record for most games lost after having a 90+% win chance in the fourth quarter.
well, late game coaching decisions is
Yeah.
huge for them.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Ravens offense? Did you like the heavy target share for Flowers, or do you think that eventually evens out a little more?
No, I actually think that's when they're at their best, because it usually means that the running game is kind of chugging along, which it certainly was. I think Flowers is underrated personally as like a wide receiver one. Yeah, sure, they have Hopkins, and that was a fantastic catch. One, great touchdown. But I think Flowers needs to be the focal point of the passing offense, especially now that Mark Andrews is, over 30 and he's, not really doing what he used to do over the middle of the field. That's kind of where Flowers seems to cook, is like these crossing routes, these deep ends. When teams are so concerned with Henry for good reason, it just like they're just carving like a knife through butter these deep middle of the field passes, and there seems like there's nobody around him. 15-yard cushion in every direction, and he's great after the catch. I'm all for Flowers having a big season.
Yeah, and again, it's maybe the durability, but I did like that. I do think when Isaiah likely gets back from his injury, there'll be a little bit more of a spread, because I think likely can now do what Andrews used to do. My only concern is that this now becomes for the Ravens, who are my Super Bowl pick, that this becomes the running narrative of like choking away big leads, because there is enough of a sample size to see this.
Yeah, it's a trend. It's not a one-off.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like it's two really high-powered offenses, but the Ravens off again, like you said earlier, I think with the Jets game, the Ravens outplayed the Bills as a whole unit. The Bills' offense was great, the defense was bad, but the Ravens had this game like signed, sealed, delivered, and somehow it just vanished. But again, that's a tough week one road ask. But I think that's what makes it even more frustrating, is they had it. They had a road win against the Bills in their pocket. They let them off the hook.
Yeah, so you wonder if you would have just lost differently, almost any other way. I mean, obviously, a blowout would be concerning in week one, but just let me lose in any other way but that.
All right, man. Monday Night Football. We had Minnesota coming from behind to win 27-24 over the Bears, and JJ McCarthy's pro debut. Put up 21 points in the fourth quarter, and if you're a Vikings fan, you're going to ignore what he did in the first three quarters and focus on what he did in the fourth.
Yep.
That was an impressive comeback, because like he looked lost in the first half. Like everything was just moving too fast. He looked like a guy that hadn't played football in a year. And then it just turned on in the fourth quarter, and you saw exactly why they traded up to get him, and they cut bait with Sam Darnold after the year he had last year, all in one 2-hour window there, basically.
And it was triggered from the most unlikely of thing, a bad read, a bad throw, pick six, and it's like that was the slap in the face that got him going. I'll tell you what's funny about Sam Darnold being involved in this equation is that's what it looked like. Sam Darnold's first professional start was against the Lions, and he threw an awful pick six across the field and then just went on a tear for like the only time ever. Yeah. So it was very like an interesting parallel with Sam Darnold. But yeah, I was really happy for JJ. Obviously, losing last year to an injury in preseason, all the speculation about this team being 14-3 last year, and they looked good. Obviously, in the fourth, the defense is going to continue to keep them in games. The running game, kind of a two-headed monster now, which is kind of new for the Vikings. They're almost synonymous with kind of like that one power back. I was surprised in the first couple of, first half into the third quarter with just kind of the sputtering in the mud of the offense, especially with Kevin O'Connell at the helm. But you knew you couldn't keep him down forever. It was just kind of whether or not JJ got his feet under him, and he finally did. And why they really, kind of caught their traction, and they should be a fun, good team to watch this season.
For sure. I have never been more right about a prospect being terrible than I have been on Caleb Williams. I am doing a victory lap.
Dude, I'm telling you, people are coming to your side. People are coming around to your side. Even some of his
jump on the bandwagon. He is an absolute LeBron-esque stat patter. He was so bad on Monday night. Like Troy Aikman, who is the most positive player guy, especially for quarterbacks, could not say anything positive. Like he was that bad. Like missing guys wide open. He was missing checkdowns wide open. It's just like refusal to put the ball. He's like, I'm just not going to throw a pick tonight, so I'm going to throw it behind the line every time. And he was awful.
Some of his misses were off the screen misses.
He's not a good quarterback.
You don't
He's not
see
a
that
winner.
At this level. It was really concerning. And
you cannot you just can't again. And because it's getting late and I'm tired, I'm still gonna annihilate him because he's just not good. And I don't get the hype. Like if this was anybody else, any other rookie over the past 5 years, we'd have already buried him. But I don't know why we love this guy so much. Like he won a bad Heisman Trophy race. He's not a winner in college. He averaged 4 losses a season. He has literally every weapon you could want. A top 5 offensive line. Their defense is really good. And he can't get it done. He's not a winner. He's not a leader. He's not a good football player. I just don't understand why we continue to back him, right? That you mentioned Sam Darnold never got that support. After one bad start, he was done. Zach Wilson never got that. Trevor Lawrence doesn't get that. Like it's amazing. Baker Mayfield in Cleveland didn't get that, right? A guy that came from the same college and the same air raid system that had better numbers than Caleb Williams. We wrote him off too. And it's just like, how many chances is he going to get? Like at this point, it's just like, it's kind of like when people refuse to move off their point because like they're just going to die on that hill. Like at this point, if you think Caleb is a better quarterback than Justin Fields, you know nothing about football. Like Justin Fields is not an accurate passer, but he's a dangerous passer, and he's certainly a better runner. And the Bears made a big mistake. Like it's plain and simple. They got it wrong.
Yeah. It certainly looks more and more like it almost every game at this point. And to hear some of the voices that are sliding off their mountaintop. It's humbling. It's funny. I not that I didn't believe you or anything. I just thought the Bears as a team were better. We're going to be able to overcome some of the shortcomings because of the roster construction. And I thought obviously that the change at head coach was going to give them a big step forward. They were bad and kind of got worse through the game, and I don't know, man.
You cannot not be concerned.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you said it best. There is it now. This is a year plus now, and it's starting to look more like a misread into the talent than he's just not grasping it.
So to kind of hammer my point home, I looked up some stats. So I'm going to read you two stats. One of them is Caleb Williams, and I just want you to take a wild guess at who the other one was. Through their first recent quarterback, still in the league, not a starter. First 18 NFL starts. It's not Zach Wilson. Yeah, I know that's what you were going to guess first. Through the first 18 starts, quarterback A, mystery quarterback, averages 211 yards passing per game. Caleb Williams, 208. Total touchdowns responsible for air and ground, quarterback mystery, 24. Caleb Williams, 22. Completion percentage, 62% for mystery quarterback, 62.1% for Caleb Williams. Record as a starter through 15 games, mystery quarterback, 7-11. Caleb Williams, 5-13. Can you guess the mystery quarterback?
I thought I had it until you gave me the record. I thought that was Mitch Trubisky, but he had a surprisingly good early record. Am I way off thinking in that realm of talent?
You are 100% correct. Bears first round pick, Mitchell Trubisky, better than Caleb Williams.
Oh, see, I thought for whatever reason, didn't they?
At any point, do you feel the Bears supported Mitchell Trubisky the way that they support Caleb Williams?
No, didn't they get rid of him after, 3 years? Still on his rookie deal.
Statistically, a better quarterback.
And I would think
with way less talent. The Bears offense he had was atrocious.
Yeah, that was a worse offense.
I didn't even look up the field stats because it's just not even fair, but it's just like, man, like to show because we thought they got it wrong with Mitch. I'm not convinced they got it wrong when they picked Fields. I thought they got a steal where they did based on where they were drafting. And they won't come off the hill on the guy that I know they got wrong.
It seems to be the worst of the three.
It's just wild.
It is absolutely wild.
It's totally wild. I just don't get it.
Wow, I got one right. How about that?
There you go. Like when you said it, I was trying not to give away the fact that you got it right. But yeah, it's just that one made me laugh because it was a former Bear and it was Justin Fields.
Yeah. I mean, all you ever hear about is how bad Trubisky a pick was, and it's a lot because of who else came out in that 17 draft. But
sure.
That's wild, man.
Yeah. And to think like they could still have him, he could still be their starter, and probably they'd be in the same, if not a better spot than they're in right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's pick some football games. So you're up 1 in this straight up bet. I'm going to say we're both going to take Green Bay here since there's 5 minutes to go and they're up 17 points. But if we go to the 1 o'clock window, interesting spread. I'm not sure it's an interesting game. It's Browns at Ravens. For some reason, the Browns always befuddle Lamar Jackson. Ravens are an 11.5-point home favorite here. Where are you leaning?
I'm willing to lay these points. Oh no, Eckler non-contact injury. He is in a ton of pain.
Oh no.
See, what's unfortunate with guys like this is like they're kind of
It's
on the way
done.
out. Like, this could
Career's
be a
over
career ender. Yeah,
because he's lost so much speed.
yeah. Let's see. He goes to chip. Oh yeah, he's just in the middle of the field, and yep,
Oh
that's an
no,
Achilles.
he knows it too.
Yep, that's an Achilles.
Don't show it again.
I know. I hate when they do that. That makes
This is just
getting rid of
gone
Brian
from bad to
Robinson.
worse.
That makes getting rid of Brian Robinson look even more questionable.
This has just gone from bad to worse tonight for Washington.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, say what you will about the guy. He's older and is got a lot of wear on the tires, but he's reliable and
Yep.
especially in passing, which is kind of where the Commanders make their hay. So that's a tough loss.
I'm gonna ride Baltimore too on this one, just because they're my Super Bowl pick. I have a sneaky suspicion the Browns might backdoor cover this, but I gotta feel like Baltimore may come out and try to win the game in the first quarter.
Yeah. Well, they did it. They did it against Buffalo too,
and maybe just keep the pedal to the metal. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns keep this one close.
Sure.
Again, it's that AFC North is just really tough. Okay, also in the 1 o'clock window, we have Jacksonville at Cincinnati. The Bengals are a 3.5 point favorite.
I'm going to take the Bengals.
All right. I am on the Bengals as well for this one. I think
I'm not going to say I'm confident, but I'm going to take them.
No, not as confident as I am in Baltimore. If this was closer to a touchdown, I think I would take Jackson. I'd take maybe Cincy to win, Jacksonville to cover, but feels like maybe a touchdown game. I gotta imagine they're going to try to force feed chase the ball just to get him going here to start.
Yeah.
Be interesting. Giants at Cowboys. Cowboys are a 4.5 point home favorite.
I'm going to take the Cowboys. I'm really interested to see the offense-defense matchup here, if that can get some protection. I just don't think as bad as the Cowboys' offense is, I don't know, or excuse me, defense is, I don't know that the Giants are, this is necessarily a plus matchup for them either.
Yeah, I mean, to me, these are two teams going nowhere fast. The Cowboys have more talent, and I really just think as long as Russ is the quarterback, I don't think the Giants have a very good chance of winning a game.
Sure.
So give me Dallas. I saw more good from them than I did the Giants. I'm not confident in that pick at all. Bears at Lions.
Am I about to get a garbage plunge here?
Oh,
Flag in the end zone. They're going to get the ball at the 1. Let me get a Bill plunge, please. I'm sorry. What's the next game?
It's all good. Bears at Lions. Lions are a 6 point home favorite.
Ooh.
These are probably the two worst looking teams, and outside of the Dolphins, in week 1.
Yeah, I don't love 6, but I'm gonna take the Lions.
They're not gonna try. I might try to thread the needle here.
Okay. I don't blame you.
I'm gonna go Detroit straight up because I don't really like how either of these teams look right now. I'm gonna go Detroit straight up.
Nichols, are you kidding me?
Oh, McWeapon. And I'll take the Bears to cover. Ugh.
Okay. Good call. Timeout. Get a better package in there.
Good Lord. Oh man, another crusher of a game. Patriots at Dolphins. Dolphins are favored?
Yeah, can you believe it?
Okay. And New England at Miami. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh so hard. Oh man, sorry, Eck. I think just let him ride off into the sunset. Stop showing it. Miami is a 2 point home favorite.
I will take. This is a massive stay away game, but I'll take New England. I think I kind of have to.
I'm on New England. I think they're making the playoffs. Epic comeback starts right now. Um, oh, Jesus Christ, 49. Mac Jones at Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, isn't this something?
Good God.
Yeah, the George Kittle lists Mac Jones led 49ers.
49ers at Saints. Saints are a 3-point home, 3.5 point home underdog.
I'm gonna take the Niners still and just hope that they force feed McCaffrey 30 times.
I am also on the Niners. I just don't trust Spencer Rattler. Bills at Jets. The Bills are a 6.5 point road favorite.
Give me the over. I'll take the Bills. And I do think this hits the over. This could be a nice 60 burger on the scoreboard.
this might
Combine.
this might be a comeback down to earth game for the Jets. I think
I
the
think so.
Bills. I think the Bills are going to put up a big number. Um, I do have hope that the Jets keep this close, but I think this might. We might see a more. This is what the Jets will be this season. I am curious to see how they'll perform. On paper, the Jets offense should move the ball against a bad Bills defense. The problem is the Bills, if they have a strength, it's up front and stopping the run. Although Derrick Henry ran wild last week, the Bills secondary is really bad. So I'm hoping that Justin Fields could have another good week through the air. Seahawks at Pittsburgh.
Oh, Debo in the end zone.
Ah,
Sorry, Bill wasn't on the field.
he wasn't. Uh, the Steelers are a 3.5 point home favorite.
Man, I would bet against Pittsburgh against probably 70% of the league this week, but that 30% does include Seattle. So I'll take the Steelers. I think they look way worse than they did in week 1, but I still think that beats this Seattle team.
I'm on the Seahawks. I hate the Steelers, so I'm just gonna keep picking against them, and I'll go 500. Rams. You like that analysis? Rams. Oh shit, Sam Darnold though. That's all right. Ken Walker's getting in the end zone twice this week. Rams at
From
Titans.
your mouth to God's ears, please.
Rams at Titans. Rams are a 5.5 point road favorite.
That's fine. I'll take the Rams.
I'm on the Rams too, as long as they are. Well, I think Puka is healthy. As long as the Rams are healthy, I think that they have a chance to put up some wins here. They're going to have to stockpile them because at some point Nuku is going to miss a game. Devontae Adams is going to miss a game. Stafford's going to miss a game.
Yep.
I am curious to see although the Rams are a good defense too, slightly worse defense. Can Cam Ward put up some numbers here?
Sure. Yeah, he's going to get one of these teams sleeping. I just don't know that it's either one of these first 2 weeks.
Panthers, and we're into the 4 o'clock window here. Panthers at Cardinals. Cardinals 7.5 point home favorite.
That's an interesting number. I
I'm
know
on
where
the
you're
Panthers.
going. I know.
We're on opposite ends here.
I'm going to have to stay with the Cardinals. I really wish this was 6.5, but
I would buy it down if I was going to take
yeah,
Cardinals. I'd buy it down.
yeah.
That's not bad at all. This could be a runaway though. If the Panthers show up how they showed up in Jacksonville, we need the drum to get to pound on the drum. Keep pounding. That's the slogan. Roar, Panthers, roar.
Yeah, I think I actually quite like it. Well, that's interesting. ESPN has him at 6.5.
Oh,
I love him
nice.
at 6.5, but yeah.
There you go. Buy that one. Over under, I think that game might go over 44.
I think you're right.
Those games only 46.
I'm taking the over.
46 and a half. Yeah, I just saw the count. There's a bunch of columns I'm looking at. I'm just looking at the over unders. Also in the 4 o'clock window, battle of horses, Broncos at Colts. You have the Colts as a 2.5 point home underdog.
I'll take the Broncos. I'm happy with that spread.
Yeah, for sure. I'm
I
on the
think
Broncos too at that number.
Daniel Jones gets a lot of pressure here, and we see the Daniel Jones we're accustomed to seeing.
Sure. I think there's a little fool's. I do think there's a little truth in the 30 burger they put up. I think there's a little fool's gold in how they did it.
Yeah.
Oh, another big game for the Chiefs. They could be 0-2 here. Eagles at Chiefs. Chiefs 1.5-point home underdog against Philly.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time they were a home dog. Let's give them 0-2. I'll take the Eagles here.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm on the Eagles with the injury and how the Super Bowl played out. I just think there's a talent gulf between these teams, and Mahomes might do some magical stuff. I just don't see them stopping the Eagles. The revamped offensive line. This will be a good test to see where they are 8 months removed from getting their asses handed to them. Ooh, this could be a points fest right here. I like this game, the Sunday night game. Good job, NBC. Falcons at Vikings, and it is Minnesota as a 3-point home favorite.
This is a tough one. I think I'm going to go Vikings here.
Okay.
I think Flores can give Penix some trouble. I do think that the Falcons offense will have some success. I'm pretty bought into fourth quarter JJ McCarthy from this week. So I'll take the Vikings here. I think it'll be a good game though. Excited to watch this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Falcons. I think so. The Vikings could go one of two ways. They could struggle again like they did last week, or that comeback can propel them to a really good start to the season. And I agree with you. I think Flores is going to throw some stuff at Penix to try to get him off his mark, try to disrupt his timing. The Falcons just have so many offensive weapons. And one thing that I did see from the Vikings defense, the Bears were able to run the ball, but they just chose not to. And I think I know Bijan's a better running back at this point in his career than DeAndre Swift. So I'd like the Falcons to maybe take a little pressure off Penix by trying to establish the run, which maybe opens up his play action game. Double Monday night games. I'm not always a fan of that. I'm a fan that the early game is Bucks Texans though. That's nice.
Yes.
Bucks at Texans. You have Houston as a 2.5-point home favorite.
This is going to be a good game because I love the Bucks offense. I love the Texans defense.
Strength on strength. Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Bucks here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Bucks here, and I'm still nervous that Texans offense doesn't have the traction yet. I need a big game from Nico, a big game from Stroud. But yeah, I think this is going to be one of the tougher Bucks games. You know, they're getting two tougher road games out of the way here. I like that. If they can get these two wins, my Bucks support will feel real good.
Yeah, I'm on Tampa too, just because the Texans offense was so stuck in the mud last week. I do think the Buccaneers will struggle a little more. If they can get the run game going and be balanced, this could tilt sideways, but I think it's a good game. I think it's pretty low scoring. Even though the over under is 42.5, I might buy it up to maybe 44 and throw something on the under there.
Okay.
And then the late game is Chargers at Raiders. Is that a true road game or is that like a Mexico game type of thing?
No, it's in Vegas. Yep.
Okay. Raiders are a 3.5-point home underdog.
There's some interesting games this week. Some games I have no interest in watching. Some games I really want to watch. Some games I really don't want to bet.
Right in the middle that were just like, whoa.
Yeah. This is another stay away for me because the Raiders want to play Harbaugh offense. And if anybody's going to be able to stop Harbaugh offense, it's Harbaugh defense.
It's Pete Carroll, Pistol
Yes,
Pete.
yes. So I'm gonna buy into what I saw from the Chargers in Week 1. Let's get the Chargers on a road win here.
Yeah, you're watching this more as a Denver fan to see who could potentially upset the apple cart in your division.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think most of the prognosticators are making it a two-horse race between the Chiefs and Broncos. And I saw a lot of good from the Chargers in week 1. And again, the Raiders got a win, but I don't think it was as impressive. So if they're able to steal one from the Chargers, now you got maybe a 4-horse race. The Chargers win, I think you legit got a 3-horse race in that division.
Sure.
Nice. All right. Do you have any bets that you want to throw in? I got another no sweat because I lost the sweat part of the bet. So now I have the no sweat part.
Well, if I was going to bet a NFL game on this docket, it's one that you're not going to take. So
okay, that's fine. That I like that because those are the ones that usually win. I'm just like I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Do you have two NFL? Because I have 2 college I can throw, so we could do it.
Okay. I like. Yeah, I really like the Cardinals if you can get them at 6.5.
Okay. Well, I can buy it. I can buy it to whatever you want. I can make the Cardinals an underdog if you want.
Yeah, give me the Cardinals at minus 6.5.
It is currently 6.5 on DraftKings.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I like that one, and I think I like.
Roma's here.
What's up, Roma?
Here
think I do I like the Bengals more than I like the Rams.
Bengals minus 3.5. Rams minus.
I like the
5.
number on the Rams better. I hate that 3.5, but
there's just enough weapons in Jacksonville
to make you
they
curious.
could win. They could win that game by 10.
Yeah.
And the Bengals' weakness is the defense. That's
right.
I remember.
Let's go. Well, why don't you give me yours? Give me your college ones.
I gotta go scroll and find them. But yes, I will get them.
Yeah.
All right. You keep thinking about it. I will filibuster with dynamite podcasting. Okay. I am going to, where are they? I'm going to ride the hot hand, and I am going to take South Florida plus 17.5 at Miami.
Okay.
I am also going to scroll past it. I am going to take Wisconsin plus 20 at Alabama. I'm going to buy it up to 21.5 because they're going to lose by exactly 3 touchdowns. Give me a second.
So I had 2 that I was interested in college, and I think I'm more interested in both of them than I am any other NFL bet.
All right, let's do it.
And
I'm not sold on the Wisconsin one, so I'll find an NFL one. What's your college one?
Well, which one of these do you like better? I like Georgia Tech for the straight up win over Clemson as a dog.
I don't like that. Okay, what else you got?
And I also like buying South Carolina down to a 6-point favorite rather than the 3 that they are now, and taking them over Vanderbilt.
Say that again. Right
now they're 3.5-point favorites. I think you can.
You want to go touchdown? You want to give points away?
Yeah. So right now, South Carolina is 3.5-point favorite. I think you can make them a 6.5-point favorite and get a better number.
Well, I mean, yes, I will get a better number.
I feel just as confident that they're going to win by a touchdown that they are going to win by a field goal.
Okay. So that'd be plus 127 as opposed to minus 108. Is it worth 3 points there?
To me, it is, but it doesn't sound like you agree.
I'll go with it. It's a free bet. All right. Okay, let me go back to NFL now. I am going to take. I'm going to take the Broncos -1.5 at the Colts.
Okay. I didn't want to be a
Four,
homer.
four-legger plus 1057. All right, we win. We're splitting $50, my friend.
Nice.
Not bad.
Better than the 2.5 points I got from Jabrowski Merritt tonight. But
No, Bill.
it's just one of these. It's just one of these years, man. I think I'm gonna have one of the worst fantasy seasons I've had in a long time.
I'm just happy. Like I got the report from Yahoo, and it's just like you stink, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I felt like
No,
I did well. I was like,
Yeah.
I have no running backs, but that's because everyone drafted a running back in the first 3 rounds. But I was like, kind of like I usually hate my team, and I'm like, I kind of like it. Like if somebody gets hurt, I'm toast. But
Sure.
yeah,
It's a rough one for me. I went 2-2 in the leagues that matter, but
look at that. Nick hit his 6-leg no sweat bet tonight. Look at me go.
really,
Yeah.
what did you have?
I had Packers straight up over 36.5. Jacobs anytime touchdown. Love plus two plus passing touchdowns. Daniels 1 touchdown through the air, and Josh Jacobs over 70 combined yards. Boom.
Nice.
Five for 20. I'll take it.
All I missed was where I was 2 yards short of Romeo Dobbs receiving total to.
He was open too on a pass.
Yeah.
Nice. This is fun, man. I'll get it posted before Sunday. I got the round robin soccer tournament that I have to.
Okay.
I've been roped into assistant coaching, so
Good luck with that.
We're small but fast, so it's the old chip and chase.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
We lost 3-2 tonight. We have Emerson's team. Technically, it's the 5-16, but we pulled up like 8 fourth graders because we don't have enough kids. And the other team looked like they were all 8th graders, and they're really big. I'm like, that's okay, just go around them.
Nice.
All right, man. Have a great weekend. I'm sure we'll be texting back and forth. Dude, we're building quite a name team. I might have a full roster for us next week.
Yeah,
I was so excited.
Football season's incredible.
I was so excited. Pac-12 After Dark when Tucker Large made us tackle for loss. Like, that guy's on the team. Tucker Large. What a great name.
Was he a DT? Please tell me.
He's a safety.
Oh,
he's a safety. Oh, man.
Sprinkle man.
It was good. All right, man. Have a great weekend.
You too.
See ya.